Listen, I'm not going to lie. If we go to a club here in Vegas and they play that intro music, I'm down. I am down.
Down to what?
With the sickness? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Oh, we swore in the first 8 seconds. We're so screwed. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Tuesday live show, Salty Nerd Podcast, where we're going to be talking about the latest attempt to start a action movie franchise with Kill Boy World or Boy Kill World. And then we're going to be talking about a couple other things. We've got some Tron news, some fun stuff. Yeah, man. Jeff Bridges is back. Maybe. We'll see. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. So stay tuned. I'm joined as always by my fantastic panel of nerds. The Grumpy Matt Vader's here. What's up, dude?
I'm tweeting.
Yeah. Okay. Grumpy. What's up? Banjo Sandwiches in the chat. Jude is also here. What's up?
Oh, hello.
Hello. I feel like I haven't seen. Were you gone last week?
I was gone.
That's why. Okay.
Here was my replacement.
Oh, that's
apparently.
right. Tito's.
Hey, man, how you doing?
By the way, I'm upset that you think that is the voice for Tito.
What is the voice for Tito?
He's just some guy from Austin, Texas.
Hey, everybody.
Mowing his lawn, farming
Jude,
potatoes.
Hey, Jude, you want to get high?
Yeah, man.
How are you doing? Okay, good.
Talk to me later.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. What's up, Tito?
What's up, bro?
And the producer extraordinaire, Matt Gators. What's up, dude?
Oh, how quickly you forget my wife while she's gone.
Mhm.
I'm like, were you gone last week?
By the way, you said you'd come over this week.
And watch Harry Potter.
Well, no, that too. But you said you'd fix my light.
Oh, is it ready to go?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you. No worries.
I keep meaning to text you.
Okay. I'll carve out some time.
Yeah, not only is Alex the host of our podcast, he's also our handyman.
He's already, because we don't know how to
Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah. I fixed their toilet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fix their ceiling fan.
Mhm.
What else have I fixed for you guys? I feel like I've done
Our
a
reverse osmosis thing, which also is dripping again.
again.
Yeah.
Well, you might just need a new gasket or something.
How
Anyway,
are you
yeah.
with kidney stones? You good with kidney stones?
Just drink a lot of cranberry juice.
Okay, that'll work.
And pee a lot. You'll be fine.
Mhm.
It's gonna hurt.
Never get those. That sucks.
Alex has helped jumpstart my car before.
Yeah.
You know, I bought a pair of jumper cables this week. I feel prepared now.
Oh yeah.
I'm ready to go.
You need another car to make that work, right?
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Oh,
You can't
no.
just plug it in.
Man,
Why
How
isn't it
you working?
working? Oh, Nadia and Chris want me to change their brakes on their car for. I am just the local Vegas
You're
podcast
very
handy guy.
handy.
That's because I grew up poor.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to do a lot of shit because I couldn't afford to pay other people to do it.
Mhm.
So that's why.
back when I was a poor young black man what,
Living in the ghetto.
living in the hood.
It was Steve Martin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sort of.
That was a bold move. Bold move, man. Okay, let's do some house cleaning before we get into the podcast.
I like how you call it house cleaning.
Well, you called it
It's-
house cleaning.
It's housekeeping.
Whatever the hell, it doesn't matter. 10 memberships, guys. We're looking for those fantastic 10 people that want to join our members. If you are not already a member, join up. You get extra content. We are actually doing a live stream right after this stream, specifically for those fantastic people who support the channel. And let's see, what else do we got? What else do we shout out? Oh, yeah, saltynerdclub.com. Join the Patreon page. There is now a free option, so you can just follow us there. And we're doing some content now that you can just check out for free. If you would like to support us, it's a minimal amount. It's less than a cup of coffee. You guys get some extra content. We do movie reviews that just don't hit on YouTube, but we like doing them anyway. We did Dragon Slayer today, which that's a hoot. We've done
Very Latin.
Masters of the Universe commentaries are available over there on Patreon. So go check out our Patreon page at saltynerdclub.com and join up.
This month is Pacific Rim.
Pack Rim
Pack Rim!
commentary with our boy Blaine, who is not going to be happy with me today because my take on this movie is not going to be friendly.
Are we plugging stuff? Is that what you're doing?
You want to plug stuff? Go ahead.
No,
What do you
you
want
can do
plugged?
it. You're the host. You plug it. Just don't forget the game channel.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, guys.
Oh, you
Vader and
guys.
Vader and I started a little project on
Yeah.
the side. It's called Salty Nerd Gaming, and we're talking about Helldivers like crazy lately.
Mhm.
And we had our very first podcast drop last week for Helldivers, and it did gangbusters. Did great numbers on that one. We had a lot of fun. So we did episode 2. That dropped just now, like probably 10 to 15
30
minutes
minutes
ago.
ago.
So go
Did
check
you
it out.
do a live stream the other day too?
Oh, we live stream
Yeah.
when we play.
Almost every day.
Yeah.
One of
pretty-
us does.
Oh.
Somebody does. It's either me or Vader. We'll live stream it. So if you're interested in Helldivers, if you're interested in gaming, go over there, support that channel. It's brand new
Don't
for
you
us.
guys play with viewers too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We got Beard of Liberty, Nerdy Neo,
Spartans.
Spartan,
Death Row was in your
Death
chat.
Row's in
Death.
there. Yeah. We play with those guys regularly.
Pussy and Bio was
Pussy
in
and
your chat the
Bio.
other day.
Yeah, it was awesome. Good deal. Yeah, if
Check
you're
out my bio.
if you dare.
Jude and I were actually watching Alex live stream.
Yeah.
One night.
Alex was heckling us. He was like, "It's Friday night, guys."
What are you watching me play a video game for?
Like, shouldn't you guys be like doing like
Each other?
husband and wife things?
We've been married for 6 months now.
Oh,
Oh.
whopping 6 months.
Yeah.
Honeymoon's over.
We've been
Goddamn.
we've been sick for like a week too. So
I know.
all we wanted to do was just sit on the couch.
Katie
I wanna-
should rather be making thumbnails.
I want to
anyway.
put the wind cap on for a couple of days because for the first time ever,
Yeah.
all 3 of you guys were
Don't say
sick,
it. You're gonna jinx it.
but I wasn't. And I was
Yeah.
like, am I the only one who's healthy right now? This is
Yeah.
amazing.
Don't.
Is this what it
get
feels like to be
cocky.
you?
Don't get cocky.
You're gonna like put a hex on yourself.
No, I know, right? Well, I got that Scotland fairy dust out of me, so I'm healthy now. But yeah, that was a lot. All right, real quick, let's shout out the chat. Say hello to everybody. We got Gary Banjo Sandwich. What's up, bro? Penny's on the chat as always. The Dork Knight. Penny, I said Penny already. Penny got shouted out twice because I forgot. Anthony Mark, as always, in the chat. Big supporter of the show. Thank you guys so much for being here. Really do appreciate it. All right.
A Buffy lover.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
up,
You guys are chat.
I'm in the chat.
Are you? Is Pussy in the bio in the chat?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
I like to
Oh,
throw,
there it
I like
is.
to throw my pussy in there. Just throw it around.
You ever wonder why the channel's not bigger? It's because we talk like that.
And, yeah, YouTube discuss. You guys got to get rid of that redhead.
She's not ready.
We did.
Not ready anymore.
She's blonde.
She's a bad influence. on you.
Yeah.
Jude came into the office with pink highlights in her hair, and Alex he's like, "Are you okay?
Are you okay?
My hair's been blonde and pink for like 2 months.
I know. I don't know why I said that. I think it just
Everybody keeps asking me if I'm okay.
well,
Today.
you're wearing like black. It's like 85 degrees
I wear
outside.
black every day.
That's why we ask. if
It's
you're okay,
60
dude.
degrees in the studio right now.
It's really freaking cold
Yeah.
in here. It is. We keep everything really cold so our computers don't crash. Okay. Let's get into the show. People have been waiting long enough. It's been 7 minutes already.
Oh, 7 minutes. Oh my
it's
God.
7 minutes is a long time. to
Woo,
wait.
look
So,
out.
Boy Kills World.
Mhm.
Jude,
Yes.
hit me with it.
All right. 2024, Boy Kills World. Rated R with a runtime of 1 hour, 51 minutes. This, I think, had a budget of $25 million. It's really hard to find.
Yeah.
A budget of $25 million. And on its opening weekend, brought in $1.6 million.
My theater, granted, it was a Monday night at 7:45, so not exactly prime time for movies. But my theater was almost completely empty. I think there was 4 other people in the theater with me. So
Yeah, same here.
this movie's not drawing the crowds.
It underperformed by about $1.5 million, I think. That they
Mm.
were estimating. I think they were estimating about 2.5 million opening.
Yeah,
There was no marketing for this movie.
I saw a couple trailers, and I
Saw a
gotta say
couple of
the
TikToks.
reason why I went to go see this movie because I thought the trailer was dope.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I mean, I
I,
watched the
don't-
trailer.
you
I was
did,
like,
I thought the movie was fun.
I'm an action movie junkie. If I see a good fight scene on a trailer, I'm like, yeah, I'll go check that out. I saw a couple of really good trailers before the movie of movies that I can't remember the names of, but I was like, oh, that's a cool trailer.
So good that you couldn't remember the movie.
You know what? I like this movie better than
What?
John Wick 4.
That's fair.
Do you want me to tell the people what
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
about?
Yes, Jude. Do your
All right.
synopsis. Go ahead.
A mysterious shaman trains Pennywise to become an instrument of death and falls in with a resistance group while goaded by his inner voice and the ghost of his younger sister. Discuss.
Wow. Very concise. Okay. No expectations.
Fun fact, I did not see this movie.
You didn't see it?
No.
What?
Listen, I was sick all last week, so now
Oh.
I'm so far behind on my actual job.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So
Man, you mean I could have gotten away with not seeing this movie?
well, Kadish went to go see it yesterday, and I was like, I don't have
Okay.
time. I have 2 books that I'm working on right now, and I was like, I had already committed to a schedule of work,
Gotcha.
and I was like, I'm not going to do that just so I can go see this stupid movie.
Okay.
Also, this is not Jude's type of movie. so-
Okay. All right. That's all fair.
Don't
It's
you
fine.
speak for me.
You
Oh,
gotta-
so is that the out we have now? It's
not my type of
not my
movie.
type of movie. I'm not going to watch it.
You're not my wife.
So no, but I'm using that from now on. No,
No,
sorry.
doesn't work like that.
Yes,
Everybody-
it most certainly does. work
Everybody
like
has
that.
veto power, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate it when you say stuff like that. Like I get
Yeah.
like to use my it's not my type of movie card.
It's like ovary power. Okay.
Anyway.
Throws her
I am
pussy
the
in chat.
ambassador.
Yeah. Okay. I got to talk about this movie because I was not.
Get it
I
out.
did not have fun. I did not have fun, and I wanted to because I
Was it-
liked the trailers. I thought it looked really interesting. I'm a fairly big. Is it Bill Skarsgård? What's that kid's
Yeah.
name? Bill Skarsgård.
Mhm.
I think he's cool. I watched the Crow trailer that happened right before this, so it's also starring Bill Skarsgård as the new Crow. It was all right, but he's got a cool look. Like he's very unique.
Mhm.
He has that like okay. He
Long,
can,
lanky.
yeah, he
cut,
can do some cool
looks
stuff.
kind of weird.
Little weird looking, but kind of
Yeah.
cool. And he's shredded in this movie. He's
Mhm.
super shredded. but I didn't like any characters besides Andrew Koji. Andrew Koji plays.
I forgot he's in this.
he plays Assam in one of our favorite shows, Warrior. And pause. Oh,
Time
okay.
out. Before we we're like spoiling this, right?
Yeah.
Full spoilers. It's been out.
It made no money, and it's been out for a weekend.
Okay, just warning the chat, warning the people watching this that
Yeah.
we're not going to not spoil.
Yeah. I was not a fan of any of the main characters. A side character played by Andrew Koji, I can't remember his actual, was Bosch. What was his name? Do you guys remember? But I can't remember what it was. It was something weird.
His name was
Boshi or something.
Basho.
He was cool because I think it was just because I'm like, oh, that's Andrew Koji, and he was playing a wildly different character from when he is in other movies and in the TV show Warrior. It's like polar opposites.
Yeah.
Like this crazy kind of like
Got
British
to use his own voice.
Cockney accent type dude, like just kind of acting a little like Captain Jack Sparrow type style, like just like walking around like that for a while. So it was cool seeing him, and I was like, oh, freaking Andrew Koji, dope. But I hated everybody else. Like the main character doesn't speak. He's deaf and dumb. Not dumb like stupid.
He
but
speaks
like
to the entire movie.
He doesn't though. It's freaking Archer or Bob's Burgers, which is like was
H. John Benjamin.
I love that
one
dude.
of the best voice actors.
The best voice actors, but it was so out of place for me in this movie that every time.
You know what's funny though is like basically because he's deaf and mute, he took the voice of his favorite video game announcer and adopted it as his inner monologue.
Sure.
I thought that was funny.
I absolutely loved the gimmick with this movie.
Really?
I thought it was hilarious.
No way.
I didn't get sick of listening to him monologue the movie once during the entire thing. And there's a lot of monologue.
There's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
Also, there's this gag where so like he reads lips, and so like everyone when they're talking, it's basically what he's like seeing them say. And there's this one character who's like foreign.
He's got a big beard,
and he can't read the lips right. So like the guy's just talking nonsense the entire movie.
Flippity flop hot dog doopity bop.
Yeah.
What?
And he's like, wait a minute.
I can't understand the word he's saying.
Yeah, and
guess I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah, there's this whole sequence where this character is like talking to him about this really important plan that they're going to execute, and he's like, I guess I'm just going to wing it.
Yeah, I thought that was brilliant. I thought it was hilarious. I had no problem.
I wish I did, but it took me out of the movie for whatever reason. I don't know if I wasn't in the mindset or something.
You were in a theater by yourself. You were probably twitching to go play your game.
Well, you were like, I'm gonna go live,
and you didn't want to be there, and you were just looking for excuses to not enjoy this movie. I'm getting texts from you. I'm bored.
It was
this
silly.
Movie sucks, I literally just watched the movie like hours earlier, and I had a great time. So I don't know what your issue was.
It was it was mismatched. It was like hardcore violence and very serious tones about kidnapping and torture and brainwashing.
There was never a point.
But then it was just goofy. And I'm like, it was too different.
It was a violent comic book movie.
It was very comic booky, which I'm cool with that. But I couldn't jive with the movie. I just couldn't do it. I don't know, man. I didn't like the silliness. Most of the jokes didn't land for me. The thing with the guy, he couldn't read his lips. I was like, okay, that's funny for like 30 seconds, but then they did it throughout the like pretty good portion of the middle section of the movie. And I'm like,
you're well known for not liking comedy.
Oh no, I don't have a sense of humor, but I just and the violence was like, okay, it's cool and over the top and very comic booky, but I didn't find it to be like my suspension of disbelief was broken at a couple points, and I was like, this guy's freaking dodging bullets and shit. And I'm like, these guys,
he's a superhero.
Yeah,
he's a trained assassin.
These guys are freaking NPCs who just don't know how to shoot. But there was one weird guy who was like on PCP and just couldn't die. And it was like
I thought that was awesome.
It was like a Monty Python. He like started cutting limbs off, and he's like, "It's tis but a scratch." And I'm like, "Okay, all right, yeah, we get it."
That was the gag.
I don't know, man.
He's like, why won't this guy die?
I don't know. Why won't he? How is he going to kill the guy that won't die?
And Andrew Koji's over there like, I'm going to be doing cart stuff.
Yeah.
Just like hiding behind a cart.
I'm going to do what I'm good at, mate.
Cart stuff. Escape.
Like talking about it, it's funnier. But when I was in the movie theater, I'm just like,
you needed a movie buddy.
Something. I don't know, man. I just did not enjoy my movie going experience. I'll watch it again on streaming because obviously it's not making any money. They're going to sell it to somebody.
Oh yeah.
I'll watch it again at home and see if I enjoy it more. But in my theater experience, I could never attach myself to any of the characters. I didn't sympathize with the main guy. I hated his entire the whole family, the Vanderbeek family or whatever the hell was their name.
Well, they were the bad guys.
I know, but but sometimes the bad guys can be cool, which is something that we're going to talk about in the live stream for the members. Is like when sometimes the bad guys are cooler than the heroes.
I like the whole dynamic flip, the big.
You like the reveal in the third act?
Yeah,
I did not. Oh my God, I hated that. I was like, so this whole time, this kid's just been a brainwashed asshole.
The shaman was the villain the whole time.
Yeah, but he kind of
but technically he's the good guy.
It's like, but who cares?
I cared. I was like, who am I rooting for? Everybody's an asshole.
You're rooting for Skarsgård.
Well, this was a revenge. This was a revenge story on top of another revenge story. And I thought that the reveal at the end, where basically the bad guy had lied to the boy his entire life and trained him to basically hate his own family and go and kill them, so that he could get revenge for the death of his family. And then basically the final act is the boy literally fighting against his surrogate father. And it was meta on so many different levels.
Pretty brutal fight.
They did a hard flip on that reveal at the end. It was like maybe 15, 20 minutes of the movie. It was like, oh, guess what? Everything's the opposite. And I was like, I was just kind of set off by it. I'm like, shit, who am I supposed to root for
this
now?
Entire movie, the dude is crazy.
Which dude?
The main character. He's bonkers. He's nuts.
Well, yeah, he's been brainwashed and drugged.
Well, he's also traumatized.
He's talking to his imaginary sister.
Yeah.
Who
he was a dick to for the whole movie.
He had a weird relationship with her. I kind of feel like it's like he's pretty close to his sister. Like,
I didn't get that vibe, but okay.
But
he sees that in everything.
It's like
he's like, oh, that's your mom. They probably
like,
fuck.
I mean,
he's watched too much of Game of Thrones.
Are they kissing with tongue? That's
ooh. No, I had a hard time because I couldn't attach myself to any of the characters. I felt like they were all kind of pieces of shit, and I was like having a hard time finding.
Really?
Yeah, I was like the main guy's kind of a dick to his like imaginary sister. The main family.
He knew she didn't exist.
Yeah.
And she was getting in the way of his mission to get revenge for her death.
It's like, listen, fake person, will you quit?
But she was still alive.
But he didn't know that.
I know, but I'm like, as soon as I saw that stupid chick with the helmet on,
100%.
I was like, oh, that's a sister. Immediately. So then the rest of the movie, I was just like, that's your sister, bro. Just get with the picture. And then finally,
he wasn't a dick to her.
No.
Well, he freaking kicked her in the face a couple of times.
Well, because she was trying to kill him.
You've never kicked your sister in the face.
I wish sometimes.
But once he found out his sister was alive, he wasn't a dick to her anymore.
No, not anymore. But that was a weird thing too. It was because like she's also part of this like evil family for the entire, and also the entire setup for this movie didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, this family's just in charge of shit. And they haven't been murdered yet.
It was like the Hunger Games.
That's the other thing.
So
I didn't like.
Should be this. Let's set it up just real quick. So you got this. I don't know. I feel like it's some like weird little South American country somewhere in a jungle.
It's nondescript,
right?
It's just,
and there's this country. It's ruled over by this lady who's like the matriarch of this family. Yeah, Famke, whatever. And every year they have the culling, and that's where they round up a dozen or so people, and they make examples out of them by just publicly executing them in this big
like Running Man,
kind of a Running Man thing.
Yeah.
But there's no game. It's just a boom, they're dead.
Yeah, they just massacre people for
And
they get sponsorships for it.
Yeah.
Serial company on TV. Sponsors a murder.
Yeah. Right? You know how hard it is to get a serial company to sponsor mass murder?
And the setup is at the beginning of the movie, Skarsgård's family is one of these families that gets murdered. He lives. The shaman rescues him from the noose, takes him into the jungle, and turns him into this assassin trained killer whose sole purpose is to infiltrate the family and kill the leader and her family and exact his revenge. That's the setup, the basic stuff. And then it just gets skewed and goes haywire from there. There's a lot of stuff.
This movie's very over the top.
Yeah,
I liked.
I did. I liked it too. I like that.
And it's also got like elements, and we're going to talk about Scott Pilgrim versus the World after this, but it's got elements of video game, like fighting games in it as well.
Sure.
Even at the point where, so like they set up that his inner monologue comes from the announcer of a fighting game that him and his sister used to play in the arcade. And so like
it's basically Street Fighter.
Yeah. And the fact that that this guy's voice is the inner monologue. So like you basically have the video game narrator narrating what is essentially a fight.
Player one wins. And he stands up and does a little victory pose and shit like that.
Yeah. I also loved how like there was so little to do while he was training that he just read the dictionary. And so throughout the movie, he's just bringing out vocabulary words and giving you their definition because they're somewhat relevant to the situation at hand. I thought that was pretty cool.
Desperately confused and overwhelmed. It's like whatever that word was. It's got its moments. I'm not saying it's a terrible movie. I couldn't get attached to anybody. I couldn't find that groove where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm rooting for this guy to win. And then right when I was about to be like, yeah, I hope that guy kills that whole family because they're all dickheads, then it switches and it's actually his family and he's part of it and he was also a dickhead. And I'm like, oh.
Well, he wasn't a dickhead though, because he was forced to do what he did.
But he still killed that dude's family. Like whether he was forced or not, ultimately he still did it.
He was dick forced.
Well, technically he was killing his own family. But I mean, he was brainwashed into believing that they were the bad guys.
Yeah.
But here's one of the things. So first of all, the fight sequences in this movie were fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah.
Absolutely awesome. Probably the best use of a cheese grater I've ever seen.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the cheese grater thing was dope.
Cheese grater kung fu. Ooh.
Yeah, that was brutal.
I was literally cringing every time he ripped somebody's.
I'm cringing now because I'm like, I don't know if I should ask.
It was a cheese grater, like a full-size chef cheese grater, and he would punch people with it and then like scrape their face off, and it would be like cheese grated flesh coming off their face. And he got one guy under the armpit and like,
oh God. It's like when I was watching this movie, I kind of sat in the front, and there was this couple right behind me, talked to the entire movie.
Oh no.
But it was fine. But that scene especially, the lady was like, ah! Oh God!
It was a June moment.
It was but everybody in the theater was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It was like simultaneous cringe every time that cheese grater got sliced. It was
like for some reason we all know how that might feel.
Yeah.
It's like the
worst.
Who among us hasn't
caught in a finger while you're grating a block of cheese?
Just a fingernail in a cheese grater.
Yeah.
It's the worst feeling. It's like,
what was funny about that scene is so like he infiltrates the rich family, evil family's house by pretending to be a chef, and he's like, I got to do something chefy. and so he grabs a cheese grater and he's just like grating cheese as he's walking around the house, and the cheese is just like falling out everywhere.
Yeah.
And then he gets into the kitchen and he like takes off his chef's gear, and all the people who are in the kitchen just turn and look at him, and they're like, oh, we're gonna fight.
But I don't I know that's like the video game aspect to it, but I'm like, why are the freaking chefs fighting for this family?
Because everybody,
don't they all hate this family? Even the ones who work there?
They probably get paid.
Yeah, but so what? You're still working for some shit.
I don't know, man. There's people that like Castro.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, this is a kind of a hyper reality situation type thing. But one of the people I wanted to point out was Yeyan Ruhan, who played the Mystic, who trained the boy.
The guy who's in every Kung Fu movie?
I feel like he's in like, I was going to say, like, isn't he in like The Raid and a bunch of
so this is a guy, I first saw him in The Raid and The Raid 2, where he was absolutely freaking amazing.
Yeah. Contra Club, right?
He was in The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
He was one of the pirates there.
And,
And like he's been in like all these like John Wick 3, like he was in the best scene in John Wick 3. But like he's one of these guys who's like a legit martial artist. Like he developed a breathing technique that can deflect impacts from fists. So like when you get hit, it doesn't hurt because of the way that you breathe in and out. Like he's absolutely insane in terms of like how badass of a martial artist he is in real life. And if you just watch like one scene of his in like a movie where he's doing like fight choreography, it is legit. Like The Raid is some of the best martial arts hand-to-hand combat.
And all the scenes where he's fighting in this movie, I thought were the best scenes because the camera actually follows the fights like a normal like martial arts action movie. But when he's not fighting and it's just Skarsgård and he's going on like the NPC fight raid or whatever, I felt like they were doing too much with the cameras. I was getting like annoyed with it. They were doing like drone footage circles around them and going up through staircases and like flipping around and hard cuts all over the place. I'm like, just calm down.
In this case, I really enjoyed it.
All right, fair enough.
So
it wasn't for me, but I like the scenes that he's fighting in because I can tell it's like, oh, this is like the same style of The Raid. It's very much, you can see everything that's happening. It's very stylized. You know what moves they're doing. I felt like the rest of them were just like hyper cut. It was like cut, and you're just jumping all over the place.
The weird thing about this movie, so like a lot of action movies fall into the mistake of having a bunch of set pieces that, while fun to watch, like don't really mean anything. But I felt like all the set pieces in this movie, and there are a lot of them, worked. Like it didn't it wasn't like a Zack Snyder scenario where it's like, oh, now we have a fight scene and then we're back to the story. It was like every fight scene like led to something.
Yeah,
in the story.
I was never.
Feel like we should start a drinking game where every time Kadish brings up Zack Snyder, we all have to drink.
Okay.
Zack Snyder.
I was like he was saying, this movie could have easily been a jumbled up convoluted mess.
Sure.
But I was never, not once in this entire movie, did I have any questions about what or why something was.
That's fair. That's 100%. I was
me,
never confused.
To me, that's a good
yeah.
good writing. That's good narration. So
and also in comparison to John Wick 4, so like in John Wick 4, you had scenes where like the main character was like falling out of 5-story buildings, hitting concrete, getting up, dusting himself off. You know, like things that would have killed a normal guy. And in this movie, like when the boy gets hurt or injured or whatever, like you feel it. Like he's not like 100% as he goes throughout this movie.
Go ahead.
I mean, he gets messed up. I mean, he goes through some stuff that would kill normal people.
Yeah, like
and there is a little bit of a comic book element. He's a little bit of a superhero.
Yeah,
but everybody in the movie is the same.
Yeah.
So,
well, there was a scene that obviously they were trying to like not trying to, but they were taking inspiration from The Matrix. And they were like in a corridor and they were hiding behind concrete blocks and stuff like that. And then they had this big like juggernaut guy with a minigun come out and starts just laying down heavy fire. And these guys are picking up like little vests and hiding behind it. And I'm like, okay. Okay.
They weren't vests. They were actually, it was actually a shield. But part of the training of the shaman was to basically close the distance between someone with a gun before they could shoot you. And so like the boy was continually doing this against more heavily armed opponents throughout the entire movie. And so like I felt like it worked.
Yeah, sure. I agree.
But we should probably shout out that Sharito Copley, the guy from District 9.
Oh yeah.
We recently saw him in Monkey Man, and he makes another appearance in this movie.
Playing basically the same.
Look, you give that guy a megaphone and he just acts like a dick on screen. He's great. He's really good at it.
But I also love that the captain of the guards, who was this character Gideon.
Oh yeah, he was good.
Who's like the brother-in-law, and Copley was married to the sister of the main bad guy, and the brother-in-law, who's the head of all the security. He likes to think that he's a writer, and so like he writes all the speeches and all this other stuff. And when Copley gets up in front of public and starts reading the speech, he like stops because like it's so badly written. He'll just like turn to the guy. He's like, these two words mean the same thing.
Who gives a crap about owls? These people have never seen owls before. He's like, he goes on in some diatribe about owls and whatnot, and he's like, these people don't even know what an owl is. And then like 10 minutes later, the dude is like, you're going to throw me under the bus to your sister, aren't you? And I'm like, no, I wouldn't do that to you. He wrote this stupid speech about owls. And she's like, owls? Are you freaking serious? That was a funny, like, setup and payoff.
But also, Copley's death in the movie was pretty funny.
The what?
Slippery hands.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so basically, they're kind of threatening to kill him, the boy and Andrew Koji. And Copley comes to this epiphany where he's like, you know what? I've always hated this family, like that they're evil people. You know what? I'm going to help you defeat them.
Yeah.
And just then like this huge like vice slips out of Andrew Koji's hands and crushes his head. Like, and he's just like, oops, sorry, sweaty palms.
Sweaty palms, my bad. It's got moments. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying I had a hard time connecting with it, and I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to, for several different reasons.
Sounds like you're changing your tune a little bit.
No, I'm having fun. I always have fun talking to you about movies. Like you guys, like I sit at this table and I talk about this goofy ass movie, even if it's a terrible movie, and I'm like, oh yeah, that moment was funny.
You know what this movie actually reminded me a lot of is RRR.
A little bit.
I felt like the action was over the top. There's this basically brother-sister relationship story where, they kind of like come together towards the end and team up to fight like,
the big bad or whatever.
Yeah, the big bad. These oppressive like kind of like patriarchs and matriarchs and stuff like that. It was very over the top movie. It was very gory, very violent. But like I felt like it was a movie that knew what it was, and it was having fun with it. And I, in turn, was having fun with it. So, like, I wasn't bored during this movie. There was no eye roll moments. Like, I knew what it was going into it in, like, the first, 5 minutes of the movie.
Yep.
And so, when I got to the end, I was actually like, I kind of wish that they had expanded upon that ending a little bit.
You can kind of just, like, once the movie gets about 5 minutes in, you can, like, get yourself in this spot where you're like, okay, I know what I'm sitting down for now. And if you can do that, you can enjoy this movie. It's very
for some reason I couldn't do it.
Very easy.
I can't explain it. I have no logical reason. I sat down and like you said, within the first 5 minutes, you're like, oh, it's that kind of movie. But I just there was like a barrier to entry for me. I just couldn't.
Cartoony, hyper violent.
How is this different from the Orenishi Kill Bill scenes?
Like the Quentin Tarantino stuff?
Yeah.
It mostly, I think if you're gonna compare it to that, it's mostly just camera work. I think the camera work with Quentin Tarantino is more digestible than this one. This one was wild. They were all over the place with that camera, and that's kind of took me out of the fight.
I think it's so funny that you are holding this. And granted, I know I haven't seen it, but I think it's so funny that you're holding this to a believability standard.
I know,
but we're about to talk about Scott Pilgrim, and I know you love that movie.
I do, because it's so stupid. I don't know. Look, I'm not saying that I'm right, and I'm not saying if you didn't like this movie that you're. I don't know what I'm saying. I just didn't have a good time with it. I don't know why exactly. I just sat down and I was like, okay, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but if you watched it on gummies.
We
have you watched Boy Kills World?
We
No, I don't know, man. It was maybe Vader's right. Maybe I was just I had like fear of missing out because I knew you were playing a game and I was like, yeah, I don't really want to be here right now. It was late. I was tired. It was just a bad movie going experience for me. Like I said, I'm gonna watch it again when it comes out on streaming.
You need a buddy.
And maybe I'll change my tune a little bit.
I don't know if you're allowed to watch movies for the show by yourself anymore.
I have to most of the time.
I know. Well, me and him go to movies sometime. It's fun. But I had like a similar experience with Monkey Man. I went with Blaine and Vader, and the whole time in that movie, I was like, oh god. Like I don't know, dude. I'm having a hard time with movies lately.
Action movies.
Maybe you need to quit the show.
Yeah, maybe I'll retire.
Too many John Wick knockoffs.
Possibly. Maybe I'm getting actioned out.
Too many gun fu movies.
What did Blaine think about this movie?
Oh, he texted me. He said, dude, it was freaking amazing. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. I feel bad because I'm going to disappoint him.
Critic list is sitting at like 70% or something.
Yeah.
One of the few times I agree with Blaine about the movie.
I know. Hashtag Pack Rim.
Pack Rim, baby.
It's Pacific Rim.
Pack Rim.
Pack Rim.
Just let it happen.
Pacific
You don't get to weigh in.
73%.
Is it? Oh, you already looked it up?
Yeah, I looked it up before we started.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't really explain it any logical way. I just didn't have a good time with the movie. Not nearly as much as I thought. It's got moments. Archer is one of my favorite cartoons. That voice actor is freaking incredible, but he took me out of the moment because I felt like his voice was just too. I don't know, maybe because I've watched Archer too many times and I know his voice and I couldn't separate the character.
Are you saying the voice is typecast in the Archer?
I kind of like I couldn't separate the art from the artist. I'm like, oh, why is Archer talking throughout this entire movie? This is freaking weird, man.
I just really
I wanted him to be like phrasing in the middle of the movie.
I thought that gimmick was unique. It was entertaining. I had no problem with it. It was different enough of a gun fu movie to where I was into it. I had a good time.
Well, also the inner monologue, like he's constantly like answering people who are talking to him. And at one point, Andrew Koji's like, "You don't talk a whole lot, do you?"
He never notices that he's deaf.
He never noticed that the guy never said a word.
I kind of like that. It was funny to hear Andrew Koji do like a Cockney Captain Jack Sparrow type character. It was super weird.
Yeah. He's like complete 180 from what he does in Warrior.
Yeah, that's cool.
I was actually thinking, like, why isn't Andrew Koji doing more martial arts in this movie?
Right.
Yeah. Blaine gave this movie 100%, and Odin commented on the bottom. It says it's hard to trust a man that simps for Zack Snyder. I love it.
Does Blaine simp for Zack Snyder?
Oh yeah, he's a big Zack Snyder fan.
And he likes
and Pack Rim. Yeah,
shows you the quality of his film critiques.
Kate's just gonna go home and burn all his critic list shirts.
I know. I'm wearing one right now.
Yeah, I know you are.
My favorite one. I love this one. Okay, let's do some final thoughts on this. I'm gonna.
Go
ahead.
What did you think about the sister?
The motorcycle helmet chick?
She was kind of a major character in this. We haven't talked about
she
it at
was cool, but again, I didn't sympathize with her. I sympathized more with his imaginary younger sister because I wanted him to get revenge for her. But then when it was like, obviously that chick in the motorcycle helmet is his sister. Clearly.
I knew from this.
The second she showed up on screen, I was like, oh, that's his sister. She's not actually dead.
Because nobody actually really dies.
Yeah. Because it's all like brainwashed, like drug-induced hallucination.
I was like, why do they have this blonde chick
not gonna try
in a helmet? Oh wait, his sister's blonde.
Yeah.
And
about the right age.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It was all at first though, I didn't think that she was part of the family. I thought she was like a hired gun. Like the way the shaman seduced him into fighting for him, I feel like that family seduced the sister to fight for them.
Right.
I thought that was going to be the thing.
I like the screen too. That would
that was so comic booky.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm gonna kill you, like written on her forehead. I'm like, God, that's goofy as fuck.
Like, oh, it's a telepathic helmet with a laser screen.
I did think that was cool, where like the helmet like would project words or like images on it that kind of reflected what the character would say or do.
Yeah, don't ask how that works though. There's no explanation for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's technology, like whatever.
Bluetooth.
It's technology in this third world country that has a
Bluetooth
dictatorship.
attached to her phone. She goes, display, say, I'm going to kill you.
Can I get a motorcycle helmet that says, get the fuck out of the way?
I've always, you ever see you're driving down the road, and every once in a while you'll see a car.
Oh, with one of the things in the back?
That has an LED thing on the back window. And it's always some smart ass thing. It's like, go fuck yourself or something.
But the character of the sister / motorcycle assassin, originally that was going to be played by Samara Weaving. And I think like a month before they were set to shoot, Samara Weaving had to like drop out.
Who is she?
She's Hugo Weaving's daughter. But she was in that like Ready or Not movie where she's the bride that the family she just married.
Poor man's Margot Robbie.
Okay.
Yeah. Poor man's Margot Robbie.
I know you're talking about.
And so like the actress who ended up playing the role in this movie was like a last minute replacement.
I thought she worked well.
She was fine. I
thought she looked like the girl when she was little.
Sure.
I could see it.
Any other final thoughts before we go to?
What's your score?
Right now, and I know I'm going to get roasted in the comments by people who love this movie, but right now I'm sitting at about 2.5.
Oh, that's better than I thought you were going to give it.
No, it's not a dog shit movie. It's fine. I'm telling you, it's not a bad movie. There was something stopping me from enjoying it. I wasn't in the mood. Whatever it was. Fair is fair. I'm going to say for me is 2.5 stars, right down the middle, 50%. It's fine. It's good. It's cool. Not great. I like RRR better. If you're going to use that comparison,
that's a weird
comparison.
Beam.
It's Beam.
Not Beam.
It's not Bahim.
Beam.
It's Beam.
Beam.
All right. That's me. I don't know. I don't have anything else to add to this. I'm really in a weird spot with this movie because I'm like I wanted to like it, but I just didn't.
I had a great time with this movie.
Okay.
I enjoyed the writing. I enjoyed the characters. I laughed. I cringed. It put me through the gauntlet, and I was kind of tired by the time the movie was over.
Yeah, me too.
I really, no, for real, in a good way. I had a great time. I think it's probably in like a 3.5 zone for me. Maybe that might even go up at some point. I want to watch it again at home. So yeah, 3.5 stars for me.
Nice. Okay. Jude, you didn't see it?
I did not, but
does this conversation make you want to see it?
Sounds like my kind of movie.
Oh,
yeah, and I kind of want to start fighting with a cheese grater.
That's dangerous.
Don't do that.
Ooh. Just get that little.
I'm gonna go home and start tink 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 making a glove.
Yeah, with a cheese grater on it. Oh, he had that random weapon halfway through the movie that he only used like 3 times. And then the gun fist thing.
Yeah.
Gun gauntlet.
I thought that would have been cool to carry on to the rest of the movie, but he just
punched somebody and
he just shoots him in the
Like when you bleach your monkey mask and then you show up to the fight
and you take it off.
And
I'm like, God, where the hell was that cool thing the whole movie? Yes. Oh, thank you, Jude.
You're welcome.
This is in the same vein as Monkey Man for me, I think. It's like it's cool in concept.
Okay.
I like
just the delivery just didn't do it for me.
I like this way better than Monkey Man.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
But
I had a great time with Monkey Man.
Kadish, rating, if you have one.
I do. I really enjoyed this movie. I'm right there with Vader on this one. Like when it was funny, the jokes hit with me. When it was actiony, I was very impressed with the fight choreography and the cinematography and all this stuff. And I liked the twist at the end. I thought it was a cool little twist. And the whole meta-ness of having like a revenge tale set on top of another revenge tale was really cool. So like, I believe the director of this movie, this was his first movie. And I thought he did really good casting it. I thought he did a really good job writing it and shooting it. So I was thoroughly entertained. I'm giving this a solid 3 stars out of 5.
Ooh, that's high praise for you. Okay. All right. That's it for Monkey Man.
I really don't like it when we agree.
It's a weird thing.
If I could have streamed this, I would have watched it.
Yeah, this feels like a streaming movie for me. I think I probably would have liked it better if I was on my couch.
It was just hard to me.
It probably would play better on streaming, actually. I mean, like, it was fun seeing it in the theater.
Go ahead.
But this is a movie that I feel like being able to...
It's an underwear movie.
Yeah. Watch it in your underwear.
I feel like this is a movie that's going to find its audience in streaming.
This is going to be a cult classic.
It's going to be a cult movie. I think this is a movie.
I don't think they make cult
I think they do, though. I think this is going to be a movie that we'll revisit in like 10 years from now and say, what's going on with this movie?
Really?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know, man. Maybe.
What does Tito think?
I think he just wants to get high.
I didn't see it either, man.
Okay. All right, cool. Let's go to the chat real quick. We've got one thing to shout out. We got Sam Schwarzenegger.
Sam Schwarzenegger.
Gifted one Salty Nerd podcast.
Learn how to read, Alex.
It's a joke. Learn how to have a joke, man.
Jeez, man.
You see SCHWAG. You get Schwarzenegger. I don't know. I don't even finish the sentence.
Sam Schwager.
Schwager. Samuel, thank you so much for the gifted sub. Appreciate the support. That is 1. We need 9 more to hit our goal of 10. We got no super chats, but I see Nadia's in the chat.
Nadia,
she's wrenching it up today.
Modding like crazy in there.
Also, she didn't like this movie either, and maybe she ruined it for me because I had dinner with Nadia last night, and she's like, "The movie sucked."
Oh, where'd you guys go?
Some Irish pub inside the Mandalay Bay. We hung out with JT.
Oh,
JT's in town, so usually you see JT in the chat, but he's actually here in Vegas.
I'm free tonight. It was not free yesterday.
So I got to go and hang out with JT and see him in person. It was really cool. What else we got? We don't have anything else to talk about besides that. Okay, thanks, Samuel, for that wonderful gifted sub. Whoever got it, shout out Samuel. Let us know who it was. I didn't catch who grabbed that gifted sub. The
Lee C.
Next thing on the docket. Oh, he hit B. You hit B first.
I did.
Wow. Next thing on the docket is Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I don't know why we picked this movie.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because it had a world in the title, and we were watching Boy Kills World.
You guys,
wait, that's why? Because it had the world in the movie?
You guys were texting back and forth as they chit chat all fucking day in the group chat. I have muted it. It's too much. But they were going back and forth about what should we pair? What should we pair, you guys? What should we style with?
No. You do not put that on me and Vader. That is this guy right here.
And I'm on TikTok a lot, and people are still talking about this movie. And I was like, oh, what about Scott Pilgrim versus the World? I was like, there's like this cult, like group of people that are still fucking talking about this movie. Should we watch this movie? And all of a sudden, we were watching. I was like, oh, we're doing that. Oh, okay. All right.
This movie, I don't remember the first time I saw this movie. Do you have a synopsis for it? Are we doing a normal thing? Okay.
I do.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll do that first. 2010 Scott Pilgrim versus the World, rated PG-13 with a runtime of 1 hour 53 minutes. This had a budget of $60 million. What do you think this brought into the box?
I think it did pretty well, didn't it? I'm gonna say it made, I don't know, 70 million.
Okay.
Something like that.
Vader.
I don't remember.
$12.
Okay. Had a budget of $60 million and a box office bring home of $51 million. This did not do well.
Oh, okay.
Well deserved.
Vader hates this.
Why do you hate this movie?
Let me tell you what it's about real quick, and then you can unleash your hatred.
Okay.
Scott Pilgrim's kind of a piece of shit who has to defeat the 7 evil exes of his new girlfriend, Vader. What do you think?
I fucking hate this movie.
Why?
Because I hate Sarah. I just cannot stand that actor.
Who?
The actor Michael Cera, right? Isn't that his name?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just see weak little soy encrusted photo.
Yeah.
It's just
kind of the point though.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't. There's nothing in this movie I liked.
What?
Nothing. I didn't like the weird Canadian people. I didn't like the snow. I didn't like the terrible haircuts.
Coming out hard on snow.
I didn't.
You have snow in your fucking movie.
It's like I just see a bunch of slackers who don't know how to play instruments and a bunch of really terrible comic book tropes, and it's just I hated it. I fucking hate it.
Isn't this a movie like a 1-by-1 for the comic book though?
I don't know. I never read the comic book.
I think it's
so I
think I don't quote me on this.
You want to talk about a comic book movie?
I see.
This is it.
This is it. Yeah.
I just see a bunch of stuff that I don't like. I don't even know how to really.
I think you have a problem with beta males.
every dude
except
in this
7
movie,
boyfriends.
Even the boyfriends, except for Chris Evans. They're all a bunch of.
What about Superman?
They're all a bunch of soy boy betas.
What's his name?
Every single one of them.
Well, he was the vegan.
They got their stupid.
Oh, he's vegan in this movie. That's right. I forgot about that.
They got their dumb floppy purple hair.
Emo hair.
Culkin is an alpha.
Broom. When did this movie come out? Because
Culkin is not an alpha.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
2010.
Yes, that is peak emo era, dude.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, if there is an era in time in history
that
can
emo.
just be taken with a flamethrower, it's that time of history. Okay, it's the worst.
Oh my god!
Fuck your side bangs and your stupid,
stupid emo bullshit.
Being Canadian
and your dumb purple hair,
your Michael Cera bullshit.
It's just a bunch of.
That's so funny, dude.
Oh, is that why you guys got bent out of shape when I walked in with pink hair?
Maybe because you watched this movie. He's like emo.
My hair's been pink for like 2 months.
There's the band suck. The music.
There's a Canadian in the chat going, "Who the fuck, man?"
Yeah. The music
is terrible.
Yeah.
Here's
every reason.
Here's
Sarah. Not terrible.
Sarah
was
the
not
bass
terrible.
player.
That's what bass players do.
It's the same note. It's the same fucking note. That's what every song they played is
it's called a rhythm section.
Have you ever played the bass before? There's like 4 notes.
Get the fuck out of here.
It has 4 strings.
It's awful. It's awful.
You've never played an instrument before, have you?
I played saxophone for 2 years.
Wow.
It was awesome.
Sexy sax guy over here.
Guys, talking shit about the bass player.
This movie fucking sucks. Okay, it's awful. It's just.
You're crazy.
No, I'm not.
I love this movie. It's goofy and the shenanigans are fun. The music's cool. The gimmicky little like sound effects and the video game aspect to it. The pixelated nonsense that I like the sword fight against the six boyfriends.
That Brie Larson song fucking bops.
I don't like Brie Larson. But
Where's Brie Larson?
She was the singer of the emo
She's the
band.
Ex-girlfriend.
Oh.
It was before her nose job, so she was a little bit unrecognizable.
That's not a thing.
No.
No. She was like 15 in this movie or something like that. She was super young.
I'm just not.
She's in her 20s.
I'm not down.
I don't know.
I'm just not down.
I don't know how old Brie Larson is.
I saw this movie in the theater when it came out. I went with some guy, I'm sure, because I didn't go see this on my own. And I remember not liking it. However, watching it this week for this, I haven't seen it since. And I was like, I'm so torn. I was like, this movie is part geniusly hilarious and part cringy.
Yeah. I think that's the point. It's supposed to be cringy.
Yeah. Like Jude, I went and saw this in the theater when it came out. And I remember not liking it. I thought it was not a good movie. But then like rewatching it, like
I think it has aged well.
It's aged really well. Like it's funnier.
Yeah.
It's more interesting. It just played better. Like 14 years removed from when it came out. I actually really, really had a good time watching.
I felt like I needed to take a bath in disinfectant after I watched this movie.
Get your soy lattes out of here. I get it. I can see why you hate this
I just
movie.
want to send out a little respect for bass players also because they are the rhythm section of a band.
Yeah.
I've dated like 6 different bass players.
They know one note.
Boom, boom, boom,
boom, boom, boom, boom, boom, boom.
Unless you're like from the Red Hot Chili Peppers and you're playing freaking, you're going crazy.
Well,
with the
you and I clearly
bass.
listen to a lot of different music because most of the bass players I listen to are good.
Heavy metal bass players.
Yeah.
It's just distortion and 4 notes.
We'll talk later.
Come on, bro.
We'll talk later.
All right, you show me some stuff.
Okay.
Show me some shit. I'm a guitar player. Okay, I've played 12 strings at once.
All right,
Alex. So this is a video game adaptation, but when
video game or comic book?
I'm sorry, you were correct. Comic book adaptation.
Oh, okay.
When the first book of Scott Pilgrim versus the World came out, it got picked up to be developed as a movie. And so the creator of the comic book was actually making the comic as the movie was being developed. And so basically he used the movie as the basis for which to create the rest of the comic series. So it was kind of like a weird symbiotic relationship there. But this movie was directed by Edgar Wright, who did Shaun of the Dead and like all those
Hot Fuzz
movies. Some good movies,
those fucking banger movies.
Yeah, those are good.
And this was his first US based movie, and he actually pivoted from Ant-Man to do this for 2 years. And it was the failure of this movie that cost him Ant-Man because he had all these ideas of how he wanted to do like that superhero movie, and Marvel was like, can we really trust this guy to bring in a banger, after this huge failure of Scott Pilgrim? And so that was one of the reasons they parted ways.
I went in prepared to hate it. I didn't actually want to watch this movie, but I was like, it'd be interesting to go back and watch it again, having not seen it since it first came out. And I was ready to hate it. I wasn't looking forward to watching it. And then, and while I was watching it, I was like, ugh, lame. And then that scene with Chris Evans, from there on, I was like, this fucking movie.
It's cringy and goofy and fun.
It totally, that's when the movie got me.
Yeah.
That the movie just scooped me up and was like,
is he boyfriend 2?
Check out how ridiculous I am. I think he's number 2.
Number 2, right?
Yeah. With the skateboard.
Yes. Yeah.
And Brandon Ruth was boyfriend 3.
Brandon Roth or Ruth?
Ruth?
Yeah. It's Ralph, actually.
I think it's Roth.
Don't trust Katie.
Ruth Roth,
he doesn't know how to say words.
Yeah. Is it Ruth Roth or Ralph?
I don't know.
Brandon Roth.
Shout out in the chat.
Give us a phonetic pronunciation in the chat.
But there's a ton of like symbolism and layering in this movie. I'm not going to get super into it, but like all the boyfriends have the number that they are like somewhere on their body or something like that. Like the number 2
you should say X's.
X's, sorry.
X's, yeah.
Yeah, they all have the number. There's a ton of like little things like that in this movie that I enjoy. The comedy is on point. I like the goofiness. I like the cringiness of it. I like the fact that their band sucks. Like it's kind of like, because I was in a sucky band when I was in high school too, and I'm just like, yeah, man, we all were terrible, but we thought we were super cool.
This movie is actually kind of a send up of the music industry, in addition to like a bunch of other stuff, because Edgar Wright likes to kind of layer in like stuff like that. And while he was making this movie, he actually got a lot of feedback from Quentin Tarantino, J.J. Abrams, and like 2 or 3 other like kind of big Hollywood directors who kind of influenced his take on a lot of this material. Like if you notice throughout the movie, they use a lot of sound effects from Legend of Zelda, and a lot of Nintendo games had like a big influence on this. I just thought it was funny that the League of Evil X's, it was inspired by when the creator of the comic book was dating his wife to be. And he found out his name's Matthew, and he found out that she had dated 3 other Matthews.
So they could be on Mattcast.
And he got kind of weirded out by that, where he's like, do you have a thing for guys named Matthew? Yeah. And so like he came up with the League of Matthews, that was initially going to be the League of Evil X's, but then he was like, oh, we'll just make them more diverse.
We got to find 2 other guys named Matt and just have Matt cast. Like, what's it like to be named Matthew? What's your life like, Matt?
I actually met another Matt recently. We could probably get him in here.
It'd be hilarious.
I'm
Hashtag Matt.
my chair.
Were you named after Matthew in the Bible? No, I was actually named after Matt Dillon from Gunsmoke.
I was named after my grandfather, who was named after the Bible.
But yeah, the crazy thing is like the casting of this movie. Like there are so many young actors who went on to become Marvel actors or DC actors or whatever the case, but there's so many people who were unknowns at the time, like Aubrey Plaza. She hadn't even been in like Parks and Rec at this point.
She's great in this.
Yeah.
Well, she ended up dating Michael Cera for like a couple of years because of this movie. Like they met on this movie and they were boyfriend girlfriend for a while. But also like this was one of Brie Larson's like really early films. This was, Brandon Ruth, I think, had already done Superman. I could be wrong on that one.
When did the Superman was it Superman Returns or something like that with him in it? What year did that come out?
But also Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She
Mhm.
wasn't like a huge name at the time. In fact, I think this was one of her breakout things, but she's gone on to play like 2 different DC Comics.
What's your guys' real quick side note? Because I'm really curious about this because I've heard so many different takes on it. What is your where do you stand on Superman Returns? I'll go with Vader.
I like it.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
it's supposed to be like a direct sequel.
It's a direct sequel to
Superman 4.
I Superman 3 and 4. I put those away.
Just don't think about them.
Those suck. They're the worst.
Oh,
but I look at it as kind of a sequel to Superman 2.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Chuck too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was a big bad guy in Chuck.
It's not great, but it's okay. It's fun.
Okay. All right, Jude, have you seen the Superman Returns movie with Brandon Roth?
Yeah, I have no opinion.
Cool.
I don't care.
So Superman Returns was a sequel to only the movies that Richard Donner directed.
Okay.
Which are the first 2, right?
Yeah. Everything after Richard Donner didn't exist.
Well, that Richard Pryor bullshit.
Yeah. All that stuff didn't exist for Superman Returns.
You mean the cocaine-induced freaking goofy guy? Yeah.
I remember going to the theater to see Superman Returns, and James Marsden was actually in the crowd. The guy who played Cyclops and was in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Yeah. He was
recently did jury duty.
The husband of Lois Lane.
Yeah.
And they had like a super kid that was that. Yeah, it was a weird movie.
Yeah. I remember watching that movie and just being bored.
Yeah,
I was just like, this is a terrible.
Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
played a stupid wigs. And
Kevin
stuff.
Spacey.
It was so weird, man. It was a weird movie.
I mean, I respect Bryan Singer having respect for the character and wanting to carry on the Donner version, but at the same time, I was just like, man,
this didn't need to be made.
This needed a different take.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't hate the movie, but it certainly doesn't have to exist.
But
for sure.
I loved the evil X's in this movie. Like it was really kind of like a gauntlet type thing where, like, Michael Cera, Scott Pilgrim constantly had to be, battling stronger and stronger bosses. I loved how he outsmarted Chris Evans' character to grind that rail. And you just see this little mushroom cloud like it's the end of the rail. But my favorite was Brandon Roos, vegan powered Super X.
That's why you hate this shit, because it's all beta male bullshit.
Well, it's all beta male bullshit. It's just they're all betas. Every single person in this movie.
But the best part about that fight with Brandon Roos was that
what the fuck?
It's Ralph.
It bothers me that you don't know how to say his
Neither
name.
one of you are saying it correctly.
Okay, Pac Rim. He gets Pilgrim tricks him into drinking a cup of coffee with real creamer in it, like half and half.
Yeah.
And so like breaks his vegan power.
I used to do that to vegans all the time.
But then the vegan police show up, played by Thomas Jane and that other actor who's really recognizable. I forget his name. But they're just like, they've come to take away his vegan powers. They pulled his vegan card because he that was his third strike.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That was actually one of the few times in this movie I kind of laughed.
Yeah. And when that happened, Jude was just like, what is this movie? Because she recognized Thomas Jane instantly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird movie.
And that other guy was from the Boondock Saints, I believe. So.
I'd have to look again. I'm not sure.
I will give this movie this. It's a good cast.
Sure. Yeah.
Everybody in this cast has gone on to much bigger and better things. It's just not a fun movie.
Okay. All right.
I actually thought the fight scenes were really kind of interesting and original.
They're fun.
I thought they were fun.
I want to shout out William Forbus. I'm going to let you read this, Vader. Can you pull that up and read it?
Yeah. I'm with Vader. I'm the only one in my friends group that hates this movie. I graduated high school in 2009, and everybody I knew sucked this movie's D.
Mm-hmm. I gotta say, I am a little shocked that William Forbus graduated high school after me, because
you're getting old.
I thought for sure that he was your age, because you guys align so much on things. And I was like, oh, he's got to be. He's 40. He's a little older than me.
He
right?
might have had to repeat like 10 times.
Yes, that's true.
You don't know his story,
he
man.
Vader's age.
Yeah.
He graduated in 2009.
Yeah. He's like, I get older. The girls just stay the same age.
He got red pilled early. So, okay.
What's up, William Forbes? Good to see you in the chat, man. Appreciate you stopping in. That's funny. Yeah, I read that comment and I was like, 2009? God, am I getting old?
That's 21 years after I graduated from high school.
Man, yeah. Wow. All right. I don't know. I've never rated this on Critic List, but I'm gonna have to say I really enjoy Scott Pilgrim. It's gonna be up there. It's gonna be in the 80s for sure, at least 80% range.
I might give it a low effort shit missile.
It is not a low effort shit missile.
I might like giving it.
Oh, your rating is gonna be a low effort shit missile. Yeah. Okay.
I'll probably just.
Can you explain
here?
To people,
watch our review, Claire.
Because I want that term to become like synonymous with our podcast, and I want you to explain to the people
what a low effort shit missile
what is that
on Critic List.
Yeah.
So there was a review. I forget what it was or who did it, but it was literally just somebody put a link back to a video or something like that and said, I didn't like this movie. And that was the review. Right. And I read in the comments, I said, low effort shit missile, because they spent 2 seconds, making a review of this movie. And Blaine and the crew there, they laughed about it. And it's kind of stuck.
It's stuck.
It's becoming a thing. So
because you yelled at me because I was trying to do something real quick without even really worrying about it for our gaming channel. I just threw some goofy thumbnail up, and you were like, "That thumbnail." Both of you texted me.
It's because it was terrible.
Well, that was the thumbnail that me and Jude were watching you play that night.
Yeah,
and
got you to click on it, didn't it?
No, it didn't.
No.
It was the fact that we knew you that got us to click on it because we wanted to give you a hard time. But it was literally a picture of the Matrix.
Yes,
it had nothing to do with Helldivers.
Nothing.
You had to choose the planet. Which one are you going to say?
You're not allowed to do thumbnails.
I know. I'm terrible at it.
We're making some, and I'm going to send some to you. And I'm going to go use these.
Use these instead. Douchebag.
When you stream, use these. Okay.
I just want to play. Did you have a hiccup?
Excuse me.
Wow.
That was the most adorable hiccup I've ever heard.
Sorry.
It was like a little speech bubble came up about you.
It's like it's like a dog burp.
Yeah, the little lines around your eyes popped up like an anime character. And just
She's like, oh my God, I'm gonna burp on screen. Yeah.
I gotta drink more water.
Oh God. All right. What else we got?
Hey man, you want some vodka?
What else do we got? Are we finished with
Well, we haven't given it a grade.
We haven't rated it.
Oh, what did I say? I said
You're like
hot 80s.
every time we do a live stream, you're like pushing us to get done and out of here.
No, I'm just
You have to give it a salty rating of 1 through 5.
We're only an hour.
Scott
in, bro.
Pilgrim?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a solid 4.
Really?
Yeah, I really
All
like
right.
this movie.
Okay.
I enjoy the hell out of it every time. I've seen it multiple times. I enjoyed each time.
4?
In the realm of comic book, video game, teenage angst movies,
Yeah, man.
this is a 4-star. What's up with you?
Oh, you know what my score is.
1-star crap fest.
1-star
Get
crap
the
fest.
hell
As
out
this
of here.
movie, this movie is miserable.
Nonsense.
I need a thesaurus with new words for bad.
You haven't pulled that out since freaking Invasion
Right?
season
Yeah.
2.
This movie gives me diarrhea. All right, that's how bad this movie is. It makes
Vegan
me
diarrhea.
It makes me want to have diarrhea with
Soy-based diarrhea.
It gives me goat milk diarrhea.
with soy-based fake meat diarrhea. That's what this movie makes me feel like. 100%.
All right.
It's gross.
Jude.
It's a gross movie.
I had a fun time with it. My expectations were very low.
Yeah.
And then right around the Chris Evans scene, I was like, fuck, this movie's it might be genius. And I had a very fun time with it. And in the realm of comic book movies, I'm going to give this like 3.5 evil X's.
Nice. See?
Diarrhea.
Somebody in the comments said you don't know what good movies
I saw that. They're wrong.
Cater, how about you, man?
Go make your own podcast, Chaos Maker.
You know what's funny is before rewatching this movie, I'd have agreed with Vader because I remember going to see it in the theaters when it came out,
Same.
being really excited for it, and then being extremely disappointed by the movie. But I feel like 14 years later, rewatching it,
Holds up.
It played way better than I remember. Like it was, the jokes landed for me. I was thoroughly entertained from beginning to end. I thought that the fight scenes were original and interesting. I love like the retro video game vibe to it. Mary Elizabeth Winstead was like freaking gorgeous with like the different colored hair.
No, she was not.
Which lines up with like the 3
She
different
looked dirty
princesses
and
from-
like she needed to go to the beauty salon.
Hey, man, it was 2010 and she was gringy.
Yeah,
and she-
everybody looked like shit. Like they needed a fucking shower.
Kieran Culkin was hilarious when he keeps stealing everyone's boyfriends. Knives
Yeah,
was
even if they're
hilarious when
not
she
gay.
keeps like trying to like emulate Ramona or whatever her name is, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And then when she gets hit so hard, her highlights fall out. That's fucking hilarious.
I felt like they all needed deodorant and spray on,
They were a bunch of greasy
and they
little-
needed to take showers.
Hipster
Those
kids.
chicks
They were
all
hipster
smelled
kids.
like a Bath and Body Works
That's why
store.
you don't like it, because you don't like hipsters, and these
Yeah.
kids are all hipsters, because 2010 was the era of the hipster.
I'm so glad my brother's here in real life
Craig
because he is correct. Scott
Scott
Pilgrim
Pilgrim
sucks,
sucked.
and Vader is right. Thank you, bro. Thank you very much.
Well, to finish my thoughts on this, like this movie was really ahead of its time. I feel like,
Mhm.
I feel like there's a reason why it's become a cult classic, like especially on TikTok, because like it just plays better now that, like it's 14 years removed from like when it was made. Everything, all the jokes for me were just hilarious. Like everything with Chris Evans, everything with Brandon Ruth. There's a part there where Scott Pilgrim's trying to find Ramona in this party, and he holds up this like the scribbled image of her that doesn't look anything like a human being. And he's like, has anyone seen this person? He's like, oh yeah, she's over there. like there's just lots of little things like that in this movie that I thought were great, and the action scenes were like all interesting and fun and different. Everything about this movie seemed to hit for me on the rewatch, whereas it was all a miss when I first saw it. So I guess like just me growing up and having like
Nice.
watch more movies and can appreciate it more, like it just played better. So I'm going with a solid like 3.5 stars for this one.
Why do you keep emoting over there? What is
I
going on?
apologize.
He's looking at the chat.
Somebody said something in the chat that is caused a disturbance in the Force.
Oh, okay.
And I had to verify whether or not it was true.
All right.
And I apologize for side railing the show, Kadish. I know your producer hat's on, but what are Vader's thoughts on them remaking Lord of the Rings movies?
They're not making
LOL. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not really happening, is
They're
it?
re-releasing the director's.
They are, but I just Googled it real quick. And according to Variety, WB announced last year, this is 2023, so it's been a minute. And maybe it's dead in the water, but they did announce that they were going to reboot the Lord of the Rings through the CEO of Warner Brothers.
Well, it's been 20 years. If they want to do it, then that's fine, but it's not necessary.
Is that real though? Are they really doing that?
No, what they're doing is, in order to retain the license to the movie rights, they're doing like animated versions, like the Rise of the Rohirrim. Which is the next big
that's not too
movie
bad.
release.
I mean,
they're not actually remaking anything, at least not yet. What they seem to be happy doing is just re-releasing the Peter Jackson movies over and over again.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it.
maybe Zack Snyder can make it.
Oh God.
Zack Snyder's Lord of the Rings.
No, hard pass.
Slow motion.
It'd be 17 hours long, and then he'd be like, "I actually have a director's cut."
We're gonna do a trilogy, but each trilogy movie is gonna
be 6 movies,
4 movies each.
6 movie trilogy.
We're having 12 movie trilogy.
Yeah, Zack Snyder doesn't know what a trilogy
He doesn't know what a trilogy
12
is.
movie trilogy.
It's like, bro, all right, bro. Yeah, but it's 3 movies. No, it's not.
Simmer down, bro. Go make some zombie movies.
Oh, we got a members chat. It says, "Hey everybody, good afternoon from Huntsville, Alabama."
Keely Chow.
Keely Chow, what's going on? Huntsville, Alabama.
Member for 9 months.
Never been to Alabama before. I've driven through Alabama, but I've never stopped. It's always on the way to Florida.
We're only halfway through the thing, and we're out of things.
I know. Well, I mean, we got a couple other topics, but we can shoot the shit for a little bit and just kind of hang out. We it's been light on the movie front.
Well, I would like to ask everyone what their opinion on this is, which is what movies have villains that are cooler, not better, but cooler than the hero?
Star Wars.
That's a good one. The new one or the Tim Curry one?
Take your pick.
Skarsgård or Tim Curry?
Pennywise.
Who is your favorite Pennywise?
I mean, I love Tim Curry, but the reason I love Tim Curry is another movie where the villain was cooler, which is Legend with Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Yeah.
As the devil. Tim Curry is the devil.
Yeah.
That sets the benchmark.
Yeah.
I've never seen a better devil in a movie.
I think that Bill Skarsgård does an excellent job of being Pennywise.
He's super creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a Sophie's choice for me. But in either, and I've read the book. So I think Pennywise is just a very dynamic villain.
Also for me, I think Hans Gruber in Die Hard way cooler than Bruce Willis as John McClane.
Really?
Like cooler, yeah. Like he's a guy. He goes to Seville Row to
Bobby
to get custom made suits and stuff like that. And he's a slicker character in my opinion.
I mean, aren't most villains in movies better and more fun and
good villains are
cooler than
good villains?
The actual heroes of the
that's
movies.
What makes a really good movie is when you have a very dynamic villain.
Yeah.
I see everybody knows the Joker in the Batman.
Yeah, I see Jack Nicholson as the Joker. Which
no. The Christian Bale movie Joker.
Oh, Heath Ledger's Joker.
Ledger.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, Jack Nicholson too, but
pretty much all the Jokers. Cooler than and Keaton in that movie? Do you think Jack Nicholson was cooler than Keaton?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
I mean, sure. I mean, Keaton just ran around in his rubber nipple suit, right?
No, he didn't have rubber nipples.
No,
nipples yet. No, listen,
that was right?
We don't talk. Is it Roger Corman who made those shitty movies?
It was the neck thing he couldn't do in that movie.
Yeah,
it was Joel Schumacher.
Joel Schumacher. That's right. Thank you.
I mean, Roger Corman made a lot of bad movies.
I'm sorry. Well, I got my bad movie directors mixed up.
Heath Ledger just took Joker to a whole new.
It was a new thing for people.
Whole new level.
And nobody knew what to expect. Everybody was like, "Oh, Jack Nicholson," and Mark Hamill was floating around as the animated one too, which I like the animated version.
Another good
one.
It's too bad Hamill's a knucklehead.
We don't talk about that.
A movie we watched recently for Patreon, Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger, he's a very charming villain. I love Freddy Krueger.
I was so underwhelmed with him in that movie. I was expecting because you hype him up so much. Like, oh my God, Freddy Krueger.
I love Freddy.
Everybody talks about Freddy Krueger. I watched him in that movie. I'm like, he was in a movie for like 5 minutes. Like, why is everybody all hyped up about it?
Campier and sillier throughout the series.
Well, let me throw this one out to you guys.
Yeah.
So Agent Smith versus Neo.
Ooh, yeah. In the first one, yes.
Agent Smith's pretty cool.
I don't know. I have to rewatch the
that speech about the
it's
virus.
So spot on.
I live by that.
So
That's my
it
mantra.
still stands the test of time, dude. That monologue is
we're a virus.
yeah.
Mr.
Anderson, welcome back. Is Mr. Anderson in the chat? I haven't seen him in a minute.
So recently, and you guys know I love the Harry Potter series. In
Sure,
fact,
sure.
we're going to do the first one for
Patreon
next week. I think.
Which will be out how long? I don't know what our timeline is for.
We're doing that next week.
So join up on Patreon.
Yeah.
saltynerdclub.com. But anyway, so a couple of years ago for Halloween, I got a group of friends together, and I was like, "We're doing Harry Potter villains." And Lucius Malfoy is a crazy good villain. But the best villain is not Voldemort, it's Dolores fucking Umbridge. You know you hate that bitch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but is she cooler than Harry?
I don't even
She
know
wears
what you're talking
pink
about.
and she likes cats.
I mean, there's a difference between villains that I hate and villains that I think are cool.
It's it's not what you think is cool. It's how do they compare to the hero in the movie?
Yeah.
So like for instance, Darth Vader, way cooler than Luke Skywalker.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Luke Skywalker's a dork in that movie.
What do you guys think about Loki in the MCU? They've gone to turn him into a full-on hero when he started out as
it's the
villain.
Yeah.
He's very charming.
Very charming. I didn't like the first Thor movie. I thought Loki was kind of corny.
Really?
Yeah. I liked him more once we get past the first Avengers movie. And he starts turning into like this little anti-hero type. That's when I started liking Loki more. But as a straight up villain, I found him a little corny. I don't think Hiddleston really had he didn't have the jive yet for that character, but he grew into it. And he is a cool character now, but I didn't like him when he first came out.
What about like Pinhead?
Never seen it.
Ooh,
never seen Hellraiser.
Hellraiser. Mm-hmm.
Just no S at the end.
I mean,
Hellraiser.
he's basically the main character, right?
Yeah.
What about Death
He's the bad
Bill and Ted? Yeah. That's a cool character.
Death wasn't really a bad
He's
guy.
not really a villain, though.
He was part of their band.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull up some member chats real quick. First
what's
of all,
the chat saying?
we got a $2 super chat from William Forbus. Says Superman Returns. Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor was way cooler. I can see that. Yeah, cooler than Brandon Roth as a kind of a goofy Superman. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'd like to hear from chat what they think the coolest villain is.
Demolition Man, dude. Wesley Snipes, 100%.
That's a good one.
100%. What was his name in that movie? Somebody remind
That's
me.
a good one.
Wesley Snipes was. It was some ridiculous comic book villain movie. A name.
God, what was his name?
What was his name? Wesley Snipes and Demolition Man. I know the chat's going to shout it out in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
This one I've got a hard disagree with Sean Stackhouse. Masters of the Universe for sure. Skeletor was the highlight of that movie. Man, I hated that movie.
How dare you invoke the name of that movie?
How dare you?
I'm kicking Sean out of the Helldivers group. You're gone. Out.
I like this one. Major Chai Chai, member of the channel, said another Rickman role, the sheriff from Nottingham and the Prince of Thieves.
Definitely.
We're getting Simon Phoenix out in the chat. It's Simon Phoenix.
Simon Phoenix. Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yes. Wow, look at like 17 people in there. Yeah. Who else do we got? What are good villains?
Oh, it's nice to see Don in the chat. That's our boy.
Literally anyone in Peaky Blinders.
Dude. Shit.
Oh no, that one Italian guy when he sat down against
against Tommy Shelby. Adrian Brody.
Brody.
In season 5 of Peaky Blinders. 4 or 5?
4.
You're
it's
right.
4.
Yes, thank you. It was 4. Season 4.
Yeah, he was way cooler.
He was so fucking cool. And Tommy Shelby's cool as shit.
Biff fucking Tannen.
Never liked him.
Biff?
I've never thought Biff was.
Why don't you make like a tree?
Get out of here.
I have to disagree because Marty McFly is way cooler than Biff Tannen is or ever was.
Oh.
He's just a bit of a goofy guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And Leon the Professional.
Yeah, Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
Gary Oldman in anything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In the Fifth Element.
Yeah.
And he's that like weird cyborg kind of like quirky villain guy, but he's like, if you can't get anyone to do it, you have to do it yourself. And he like goes out there and he just I need to rewatch that movie. It's been so long since I sat down and just like,
you know what we should do with that for a commentary.
I would love to. Can we do that for a commentary? Fifth Element?
Sure.
Oh
yeah, let's do it.
Hell yeah. Multipass.
Yeah.
She knows it's a multipass.
No, but in the Professional, Gary Oldman Like he owns that movie.
What is that pill that he takes? I know that we had a conspiracy theory about that. Like
it's just drugs. It's just drug.
Yeah, just a drug.
Crazy drug.
But didn't you say it was like it stops him from becoming a werewolf or something? Like we had some crazy conspiracy theory about it.
That sounds like something I'd say.
Like Gary Oldman's actually a werewolf and Leon the Professional, but he has to take these pills to keep himself from changing.
Yeah.
I could see that. That is a brutal movie.
What about Dr. Evil?
From Austin Powers? I don't think anybody's not.
Cool.
Nobody's cooler than Austin Powers, though, man.
Dr. Evil's cooler.
No. The Man of Mystery, the International Man of Mystery. Do I make you run?
I would
baby?
much rather
baby.
I would much rather see a Dr.
That's
Evil
what I want to
movie
do for Halloween this year.
than Austin Powers.
Austin Powers.
I want to be a fembot.
The fembot. Okay. Well, you have to dress him up like with like the suede blue suit with the feathered collar in the front. Like you got to go.
He never does group costumes. I always do it with Tom.
No, I'd go full Dr. Evil.
Would you? Just the onesie, the silver
Dr.
onesie.
Evil.
Well, I was Varys from Game of Thrones that one year.
That's true. You did Game of Thrones with us.
Would you shave your beard to be Dr. Evil?
Anybody is bald.
Really? You would shave your beard for a costume?
He shaved his beard for Varys.
It would grow back.
It would grow back.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever touch my face again. I've waited so long to have this beard. I wouldn't shave it for anything.
Every time he's ever done a group concept for Halloween with us, he like shows up in the costume. He's like, "Can you just Uber home?"
If I got hired to play Batman for a costume party or something like that, I would not shave my beard. But like, yeah, I'm bearded Batman.
Tom didn't shave his beard when we did Wayne's World.
Yeah.
I'm going to end this conversation right now.
By
bringing out the best villain of all time ever.
What is it?
And I don't give a shit what any of you guys say. You cannot beat this. You cannot beat this one. The best villain of all time.
Yeah.
Is Khan Noonien Singh.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Can you say he's cooler than Kirk?
You're saying that
he's not Kirk. You said villain. Kirk's not a villain.
No. He has to be cooler than the hero.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Smeagol is not cool, Jude.
No.
Smeagol is not cool. Aragorn is cool.
From Hell's
Sauron is cool. Saruman is cool. Smeagol is not fucking cool.
From Hell's Heart, I stab it.
So hold on. I gotta pause.
Yeah, I got a hard disagree.
Yeah. You're telling me
Kirk is way cooler than
the cool factor for Kirk.
You watch these movies. You watch these movies for Khan.
There's one movie.
Yeah, that's it. The one movie. Still the best Star Trek movie ever made.
Fair.
For Khan, because Ricardo Montalban killed that movie.
He did. He made that movie.
Yeah.
But you're telling me
I'm not saying Kirk isn't cool, but he's not Khan.
He's not as cool as Khan?
No.
Bro, you're gonna start a fight in the comments, dude.
Whatever.
You're gonna start a fight.
The chat will be wrong.
We need to clip this as its own video. Just send it to the internet. Who's cooler, Kirk or Khan? God dang.
Look at Balance of Terror. You can't tell me that Kirk is nowhere near.
Oh yeah, against the
Romulans.
Romulans. I was gonna say Voltrumites for some reason.
Who's cooler, the Avengers or Thanos?
Thanos by far.
Yeah.
Like
listen, me, Chaos Maker in the chat is becoming my arch nemesis.
Oh, I like this. William Forbus says the kaiju from Pac Rim. Look, he says Pac Rim
cool.
too.
Pac
Kaijus
Rim,
are cooler than the robots.
I agree.
No, I
that's a tough one.
You can't get harder. You can't get cooler than a Gypsy Danger. I'm sorry.
But you can get harder.
You can't get harder.
Yeah.
Big old fist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Khan's the coolest villain ever.
That's tough, dude. I don't know, man. I like where your head's at.
That might be my age, but it's
I agree that Khan is one of the greatest villains ever, but he is not cooler than Kirk.
Yeah.
What about Terminator?
Yeah.
Terminator's the villain. He's way cooler than Kyle Reese.
Robot.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still a villain.
He's an Autobot. He's an automaton.
He's an automaton.
Tyler Durden, Fight Club.
Yes. Is he a villain though?
Yeah.
I feel like corporate America's the villain in that movie.
I mean, he's the spoiler for this movie, but he's the alter ego. Of
Edward Norton's character, which
and he's more charismatic.
There's another one in the chat.
Yeah.
The Borg Queen was cooler than Picard.
Ooh,
I agree.
Ooh.
Picard,
no.
Picard's not cool.
Shots fired.
Picard is Picard. He's not.
You don't think he's cool?
He's never been cool.
Riker's
That's
cool.
where Riker's cool.
Riker's
the cool.
Yeah. Picard's the straight man.
Yeah.
And Riker's the wild card.
You've never named one of your kids Picard.
No, I did name him Riker though. This is fair. That's a fair point. The Borg Queen's cooler than Picard. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Got you.
That's a tough pill to swallow, but you might be right.
I think so.
Wow.
I agree.
Wow. I've never thought about that before.
Yeah.
Because Picard's not cool.
Picard's kind of soft.
I love him as a
Except for
character.
when he's
I have the perfect one.
looking at lights.
The shark in Jaws.
100%.
Yeah.
Who's the hero in that movie? Is it the sheriff?
The guy that needs a bigger boat.
It is the sheriff.
Yeah, it's the sheriff.
the
It's
sheriff.
not the shark hunter, not Captain Ahab or whatever his name is.
You know who's a cooler villain than Captain Janeway?
Anybody?
Yes,
All of them.
All of them. All the villains.
Species
on Voyager are
8472.
cooler.
Like,
The Kazon.
Look, I like Captain Janeway. She's the Kazon.
The caretaker is pretty
The
cool.
Kazons were such a stupid freaking like grip of aliens from that show. Like they were just like, well, we need like a Klingon type people. They didn't come up with a good villain in that TV show until the Warriors came out, not the Hunters. What
Voyager.
were they called again?
Voyager kind of sucks, bro.
I'm all right with it.
Newt Tuvix.
Two-Face was a bad episode.
I mean, Janeway and Paris had little salamander babies.
Salamander babies happened in that show.
Kinda
They
weird.
were really scraping the bottom of the barrel. Shit. Rick Berman was like, what the fuck?
Who wrote this? Why did we even make this?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Man, we're really rabbit holing here.
Yeah, that's okay.
kinda
I
fun.
kind of like rabbit holing a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's kind of fun sometimes.
We got the chat's going nuts.
Yeah. Telling me I'm wrong
Jude
about
stepped out
everything.
to go pee for a minute, but they said the shark was the victim in Jaws.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Killing his babies.
What, they weren't killing babies in that movie, were they?
I don't know. She was
the
doing something.
The shark just wanted to eat.
He's hungry.
Yeah, this is hungry.
Wanted some nice, human flesh.
Yeah, T-1000, Terminator 2, Judgment Day is better than the hero. The hero. Well, hold on. The hero is the T-800, or is it John Connor?
And John Connor. I don't know.
There's like a dynamic duo happening right there, right? And Sarah Connor's like the third wheel. Who is the hero in T2? Is it Sarah Connor or is it the
No,
Terminator?
I don't know.
No, it's the Terminator, the T-800.
He gets the glorious death at the end.
See, the T-800 is the one who saves everybody.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but that doesn't necessarily. I guess it doesn't.
And then there's no more Terminator movies.
That's it. Just
That's
T2.
Just everything after T2.
What about the one with Christian Bale? I like the one with Christian Bale.
It's like
It would.
I look at it
It's a
like
terrible
I look at it
It's
as
not
like
a terrible movie.
Yeah,
It's like a alternate universe movie.
Kind of a little bit.
It's not unenjoyable,
It's a
but-
side mission,
Yeah.
but I like that movie.
you probably like Dark Fate too.
Actually, I don't even think I've seen that one. Is that the one where Sarah Connor came back and she's like 75 years old?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
John Connor dies.
No. That movie's not good. That doesn't exist. But the one with Christian Bale is underrated.
Okay. I'll go with that.
I like that as like a supplemental Terminator
But
movie.
I just don't consider it canon.
Honestly, you know what? Never mind.
It is what it
It's that's for a different podcast.
One
we got
gifted salty membership.
got another gifted. We got eight left to go. Major Shy, a gifted membership. Thank you so much. Let's see who took it. A Helping Hound was gifted that membership. Thank you so much. Stay tuned, guys. We're going to be doing a live stream specifically for the members right after this one. My nose is leaking for some reason. I don't know why. I apologize. I must look like I'm doing cocaine over here on the camera. They're like, why is he touching his nose all the time? It's because I'm leaking. What else we got? What other? Dude, I'm you messed up with my head with the con thing.
Nobody's cooler than Con, dude. Wow. Con! Yeah. So
Wow.
told you I was ending the conversation.
You kind of
You gotta come up with another
you
topic.
put your foot down on
I
that one,
did.
didn't you? You're like, whoa.
Fuck you guys. Con. I win.
All
Move
right.
on.
We had one other thing on the docket today. I kind of thought was interesting.
Oh, are we moving on?
Or do you want to, or do you want to keep going with the villain thing?
I wanted to see who else in the chat had ideas.
Oh, okay.
for it.
They can't beat Con, so it doesn't matter. There's nobody can beat that.
You're wrong.
No, I'm not.
Hold on. This is a Janeway comment. I got to read this. And there's also a member of the channel. It says Janeway erased an entire present timeline and all the people in it because she was unhappy about Tuvok and Chakotay. She's a war criminal.
Janeway's evil, dude.
You ain't wrong.
Agreed.
You ain't wrong.
She's the Hillary Clinton of space.
Oh, no. Don't even say that. You're going to ruin the show for me now. God damn it. How terrible of a thing to say. For poor Kate Mulgrew.
Ooh, Predator. Predator.
Ooh.
Is he
wow,
cool, is he
hold on.
cooler than
I
Schwarzenegger?
don't know.
No. I don't know if I can do that. The Predator's cool, but it's fucking Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
As like a badass.
But if we were
commando.
comparing Danny Glover to the Predator,
Oh, Predator 2 sucks. That movie's not.
Yeah.
I think you guys are reaching.
We're scraping. A little
With
bit.
the Buse.
So Gary Busey's in that movie.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen him lately?
Uncle Buse.
It's like saying, oh man, the best villain of the movie of all time is Iceman from
Top Gun.
Top Gun.
I don't know. What about
Kilmer.
what about Busey in Lethal Weapon 1? Is he cooler than Mel Gibson?
No. Busey was the villain in that movie?
Yeah.
I thought it was the African guy.
No, that was
Diplomatic Community. Oh, that's the second one?
Yeah.
All right, I've got one for you.
What's up?
Point Break.
Patrick Swayze is way cooler. Way cooler.
Way cooler than
1,000%.
Johnny Utah.
Yeah. Utah.
But Utah's pretty cool.
Give me 2.
I am an FBI agent.
I almost spit out my water.
I love that they reference that movie in Hot Fuzz. But he's like, I couldn't shoot him, man. He shoots his gun into the air. Was that a Bad Boys reference or a Point Break reference?
That was
Point Break. Did they do that in Bad Boys too?
I don't remember them doing that in Bad Boys.
You go watch the new one?
Did you guys see the trailer for the new one?
I did.
A Boy Kills World.
Yeah, I did. I saw it when I went to the movies last night, and I gotta say, as much as I'm not a fan of Will Smith anymore, this movie's got some nostalgia for me, and I'm
I think I might watch that. That's a good topic.
What's that?
Is this the start of Will Smith's comeback tour? Because I heard that they're making a new what's the vampire movie he was in?
Oh, Legend. I Am Legend.
They're making a new Legend movie.
He died.
I don't know what to tell you.
Like in 3 different versions of that movie, he died.
And this is coming out. I think he's got some other projects.
It's probably a prequel.
But are we ready to forgive him for slapping the shit out of Chris Rock?
It was fake.
You know what though?
It was fake.
When I was watching the trailer for Bad Boys 4 Ride or Die,
mm-hmm.
The entire time I'm there, I'm just like, I don't like Will Smith anymore. Like he was a big draw for those movies, and I just he hasn't made anything good in a really long time.
Yeah,
and the whole like thing about him and his wife and
everybody hates her.
Yeah, it's just like, is he even going to be a draw anymore? Because I don't think Bad Boys 3 did all that well, did it?
I didn't watch it, but I personally am ready to be a Will Smith fan again. I like Will Smith movies.
Whoa.
I mean, I've never disliked him. I mean, he's made some clunkers. That one movie he made with his kid.
After Earth.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
I have yet to finish that because I can't. Get
so dumb. Yeah, it's so dumb.
But there's other movies out there that.
But that was a Shyamalan movie.
Yeah,
and that was during Shyamalan's like dark period where he was just making really bad movies.
Yeah,
bees are dying, you guys.
Like The Happening, I mean, Lady in the Water.
His entire career has been a dark period.
That's not true.
No.
Signs was a fucking good movie.
There was a time when Will Smith was gold. He could not make an unsuccessful
Wild Wild West.
So there's a theory about the slap, since we're on Will Smith, that it copies an old skit from a comedy movie, beat for beat.
Yeah, you showed that to me.
I've showed it to you, and it's exactly what happened at the Emmys or whatever the hell that award show was. Oscars. And it was like I don't understand why they would make a copy of it, but it's clearly a copy because the movie that they're referencing came out way before that happened.
Apparently, no one told Chris Rock that it was a sketch.
I don't think it was fake. I think it was his wife had witchcraft powers over him, and she gave him that look.
That's true.
And he went up there and just smacked him and lost his mind.
That's true.
He looks like a man who's been barely holding it together for a while now.
She's been cucking him for the last decade.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
He's not in a good marriage.
Had an entanglement.
Ridiculous. But
who among us?
I'd like to avoid any imperial entanglement.
I want Will Smith to have a comeback. I want him to have a John Travolta comeback. I want him to come back, make some cool movies, touch back on some of his old
John
stuff.
Travolta comeback.
You want him to take his face.
I want touch on some of his old roles, make a couple sequels, start in some new things. Have some. Let's have some new Will Smith movies. He's fun, man. He's funny. He's a good actor.
I liked iRobot. That was a cool movie with Will Smith.
You would.
You don't like iRobot?
It's a terrible movie.
It's not terrible. What?
You got to read this.
Oh, hold on. Which one? The $2 one?
Yeah.
From William Forbus?
Yeah.
$2 super chat. Better villain, the nature killing and the happening.
Yeah. Nature.
You win.
Yeah.
You win.
Nature is way cooler.
Way cooler than Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, is that the one where the wind kills
everything?
No. That's
guys, the bees are dying.
The bees are dying.
The bees, guys.
I remember, guys. We got to get away from the wind.
The most unbelievable thing in a movie is not Keanu Reeves as an FBI agent. It's Mark Wahlberg as a science teacher.
I love that comment from Unlimited Power. Jada Pinkett Smith is the best villain of any movie. Yeah. iRobot was great. See, Nerdy Neo gets it. iRobot was not great. Kite Crusher.
Kite Crusher. My man.
Kite Crusher just
There's like
trolling everyone.
There's like a 50-50 split on iRobot. I don't know. I thought that movie was cool.
Me and him are kind of the same.
Like you're his older brother. So yeah.
You know, the thing about the Bad Boys trailer is how terrible Martin Lawrence looked.
Oh, he's getting
He's a little puffy.
But how old is he now?
He just needs to lose a little weight.
How old is Martin Lawrence?
It's been 84.
Hold on. Hey Siri, how
old?
old is Martin Lawrence?
Martin Lawrence is 59 years old.
That's it.
Oh, that's it,
9 years old.
dude. What's the dude's name from Ghostbusters?
Ernie
Bill
Hudson.
Murray.
Ernie Hudson.
Oh,
Ernie Hudson's 80.
Hudson.
Ernie Hudson's 80. He looks
Shit, he
fucking.
can still get
he
it.
looks
He looks,
awesome.
he looks
Yeah.
35.
He does.
Yeah.
He
It's
does.
crazy. Yeah. So Martin Lawrence, he needs to.
Well, wasn't there
Gym or
like an
something.
incident where basically Martin Lawrence, he was trying to stay in shape. He was working out so hard that he like passed out and like gave himself a heart attack, and he had to be
What?
hospitalized for a long time.
He needs a better coach.
Yeah.
Well, he was like crash dieting, and he was like working out constantly, trying to like, you know,
Yeah.
stay up with the Joneses in Hollywood and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And after that incident, he's just kind of like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'll just be fat and short.
Yeah. Just be a character actor now.
I mean, they kind of make a thing out of it in the trailer.
They do.
right?
Yeah, they do.
Are those Skittles on that count?
Well, that's a throwback to the first movie.
Yeah. Which is probably why it all makes sense. Look, I'm not fat shaming.
I
Martin
say
Lawrence.
woo-saw like once a week.
But,
She does. She really does.
You just got to woo-saw
It
that.
sounds like to me, it sounds like he needs a better freaking coach if he's passing out because he's working out too much and not eating enough.
But anyway,
He needs to get on that T. You know what I mean? Like all the other superheroes in Hollywood, just get on that freaking testosterone and start freaking working out like a horse.
I'm just ready for Will Smith to make his comeback.
Really?
I'm disagreeing with you, Vader.
Well, that's okay.
Will
Wouldn't be the
Smith
first.
is
Wouldn't be
dead-
the first
Will
time.
Smith is dead to me. Like,
Wow.
I don't care.
That's pretty
anymore.
hardcore, dude.
I stopped caring after I saw Wild Wild West in the theaters. I was like,
Because
he's
nobody
over.
makes
He's
bad
over.
movies.
I think that was in
Bro.
like the 90s.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
old, man.
Early on.
What's his partner in that movie?
Did you guys like
Kevin Kline,
Kevin Kline? Kevin Kline's awesome.
Salma
He's a-
Hayek.
Salma
so I'm
Hayek.
sure you
Salma
love it.
Hayek's in that movie.
Yeah.
I might.
I dislike him because I dislike that Wild Wild
that
West.
one Wild Wild West movie from 2001.
Alex would never dislike any movie
Well,
that Salma Hayek.
This is true.
That
This
was
is
one
true.
of the worst movies he'd ever made, and he hadn't made a good movie since. So
I'm IMDb. I'm gonna find a good movie he made.
I
after that.
legit like I Am Legend. And as
Yeah.
a book
Yeah.
snob, it is wildly different from the book, and I still like that movie.
Listen, reviews are mixed on Wild Wild West on Critic List. There's a wide range of opinions.
there should not be mixed opinions on that movie. It's terrible.
It's a stupid movie. Have you heard the Kevin Smith joke about that movie?
Well, it was basically John Peters who produced that movie.
Yeah.
Was also trying to produce the new Superman movie, which Kevin Smith was writing.
Right.
And John Peters was the one who wanted to put a giant spider in it.
Fight a giant spider with Superman.
Yeah, and when he couldn't do it with that movie, he was like, "Let's make a giant spider in Wild Wild
Yes,
West."
and they made it, and then they referenced that in that
Flash.
the Flash movie when Nicolas Cage appeared as like a CGI Superman. He was fighting a giant spider.
Yep.
It's all a big circle. Everything comes back around.
John Peters also wanted a gay robot in Superman.
Yeah, man. His
sounds
recent thing is not good.
No,
I
Will
told you.
Smith.
Oh, are
Yeah.
you on his
I'm looking at his I Am Legend or his
IMDb?
Will Smith
Yeah.
is. It's been a minute since he's
I
made
mean-
a cool movie.
I think the last
Wow.
time he tried to make a good movie was Gemini Man. and
Yeah,
just
it was
didn't work out.
that flopped too, really hard.
iRobot was 2004. Let me see. Hancock 2000.
Hancock was underrated.
I kind of like that movie.
Yeah, it went in a weird direction, but I liked the first half at
But
least.
I Am Legend was 2007. I think that's his last good one.
I liked Hancock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I liked Hitch.
Hitch was funny. He did do some good rom-coms for a while. Hitch was funny. Man, I haven't seen. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Will Smith is weird. I feel like he needs to get out of his
marriage.
funk.
Yeah.
He needs to get out. We're just gonna be real.
Well, I
he
don't
needs
think
to,
that-
he
I
needs to
don't
get divorced.
I don't think they've been married for like a decade or
Yeah,
something.
I know, but
This
he's
is a big
simping after this chick, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Well,
She's too busy banging her son's
her
friends. or
son's
something.
friends.
Yikes.
How fucked up is that? All right, what do we got?
Goals.
Goals. Are we ready for Jeff Bridges and Tron?
Yep.
Sure. bring it on.
Okay, Tron Ares,
Aries.
Is that what it's called?
the third movie. Listen,
This is all new to me. So
I am a huge fan of Tron Legacy.
Yeah.
I freaking love that movie.
fun.
I watched it recently. I know it's a Disney product and Disney sucks, but that movie is freaking spot on. I loved it. Everything, the style, the music, the storyline, everything about that movie is freaking rad. And I really hope if they make another one, which apparently they are, that they stick with it and they knock it out of the park. Because I watched it recently, and I've started, as of everything, whenever you have an older hero come back and he's dealing with the next generation, there's a passing of the torch and all this stuff. Like I always reference, like, okay, how bad did Star Wars mess it up? And how do you not do that? And I feel like Tron Legacy did a really good job of like passing the torch on to Flynn's son, and they paid respect to Jeff Bridges' character, and he was like, he kind of came in clutch at the end as the big hero.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything about that is what I wished happened with Luke Skywalker. And now they're talking about bringing him back. So according to Dark Horizons website, we've got an article pulled up. I don't know if you want to pull it up on the screen or not, Kadish, but 74-year-old Jeff Bridges has confirmed he's going back to the grid with an appearance in the upcoming Tron Ares, currently shooting in Canada. So it's already in the books. Appearing on the Film Comment podcast via the playlist, Bridges said, "I'm heading off this Saturday to play a part in the third installment of the Tron story. Jared Leto is the star of the third one."
Sweet. What's wrong with that? I like Jared Leto. He's weird. He's a weirdo.
I'm really anxious to work with him. I've admired his work. Okay, fine. Jeff Bridges was the star of the original. Yes, we know. Tron Legacy. Yes, we know. Yada, yada, yada. The new film will star Jared Leto as Ares, a computer program who has escaped the grid and come to the real world.
Ooh. We're reversing it.
Yeah, but didn't his son... Are they bringing his son back?
I just want to know if they're bringing Olivia Wilde back.
It doesn't look like it.
That's sad, because that was like a nice little cliffhanger for the second movie.
Looks like Evan Peters is going to be in it, and Gillian Anderson.
Oh.
I don't know, man. Evan Peters and Gillian Anderson, Jodie Turner-Smith, yada, yada, yada. Okay, a bunch of people coming in. I don't know. I'm less excited all of a sudden. Because
Destiny's Captain in the chat says Hollywood likes Jared Leto more than we do.
This is true. It's because he's a cult leader.
It's morphin time.
Morbin time?
Morbin time.
Morbin.
Yeah, it's because he leads cults in Hollywood. That's why they love him.
Well,
Hollywood loves cults.
They do.
Nothing wrong with little cults and little culty stuff going on.
Remember when he just like disappeared for like a year or something like that?
Remember when he found out about COVID about a year after COVID?
That's when he was out. He was out in the desert somewhere just leading some kind of crazy...
What's wrong with that? He's going out in the desert,
He was having like a 6-month orgy.
Yeah.
Good for him. He came out and he was like, "Oh man, there's a plague."
You would be a good cult leader.
I'd go out in the desert for 6 months for an orgy. That'd be super great.
Remember when he was giving people dead rats on the set of
the Joker?
Suicide?
Yeah. No, that
grow my beard and my hair out.
Dude, the Joker thing that he did really freaking killed this guy for me. I was like, ooh.
What are you guys gonna do when I show up to the studio
with damage tattooed on your forehead?
Just wearing a robe and a medallion.
Oh.
Just what's up, my friends?
I have discovered peace and tranquility in my old age.
Start a new age podcast.
I have some movies
might actually get some views.
Wear a big old fat crystal around in a chain.
I have some crystals you can borrow.
It absorbs my negative energy.
Just eat some cereal on camera.
Listen, man, you shaved your beard off and you have like a wild man goatee. I'm like, just buy a motorcycle already, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vader showed up this morning. I was like, what's with the cherub cheeks over there?
I feel that. I don't know, dude. Jared Leto's it's a turnoff for me for this movie. I was hoping that they would pick up where they left off.
Jared's weird and quirky. He's perfect. He's perfect.
But he's okay. So if he's a weird computer program that escapes the grid, and Jeff Bridges is coming back, but like I want to know what happened with the kid and Olivia Wilde. Like that was the cliffhanger for the second movie. Like,
well, maybe they go back into the grid at some point. We find out.
But I hope they come back. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. What's the chat saying? Guru Vader.
Olivia Wilde was
smoking hot in that movie. Yeah, she's a bit crazy though. But everybody in Hollywood's crazy. Did you hear about the divorce that she had, where like she served her papers to that guy while he was on stage?
What?
You didn't hear about that?
No.
Yeah, him and the guy who does what's that soccer show on Apple TV that you guys like? Ted Lasso.
Sudeikis?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Sudeikis.
Yeah, she was married to him.
Oh, really?
And they got divorced, but she served him the divorce papers while he was on stage doing like a Ted Lasso freaking meetup thing or whatever.
That was hilarious.
There's a video out there of him like somebody walked up and said, "Here you go," and he picks up this manila envelope and he's like, "What is this?" He opens up. He's like, "Guess I'm getting divorced."
Live on stage.
Live on stage.
Oh my god.
It's freaking wild.
There's got to be a video.
It's out there for sure. Yeah.
Wasn't she accused of having an affair with Harry Styles?
Yeah.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
knows?
And
Don't Worry, Darling, when they were filming that.
and also like her and Shia LaBeouf has like a huge feud
Oh
going
yeah, they
on.
hate each other.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody likes Shia LaBeouf.
Isn't he like a Orthodox Greek Orthodox priest or something?
Yeah.
I
He's
don't
been
know.
a lot of different things.
Yeah.
He's,
That
he's
kid,
a man who has several stories.
that man needs a rudder. You know what I mean? Like he needs a direction. He's all over the place. So the last role he did, which I haven't seen the movie, but I kind of want to. He legitimately got the tattoos that his character had in that
Yeah.
The tax collector.
movie. Yeah. It was
And
like
he took out his teeth too.
yeah. It's
A
dude.
knucklehead.
The method acting on that guy is like, okay, man, just be cool.
Shia LaBeouf and Jared Leto need to go do something together.
Wouldn't that be a wild movie?
They
Yeah.
wouldn't survive. each
Shia,
other.
I like Shia LaBeouf's like a legit good actor. Like he's good at what he does, but
Mhm.
he just takes things in like a weird way. And it's like, you'd be better if you just chilled out a little bit, man.
Have you ever seen back when you had TikTok in the early 2020 lockdown when different actors were getting together on Zoom
Yes.
and just like reading lines
Yeah.
from
And
like
he was stoned as shit.
from like Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah.
He was the only person who was like embodying
Yeah.
his fucking character.
Wasn't
They,
he-
they
he
were
was-
all like, we're just having fun.
Wasn't he like hotboxing himself in a truck
Yeah.
during that whole
Well,
thing?
wasn't he
so.
playing the Sean Penn character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
he was all
He was
always
Spicoli.
hot.
It was method.
But he was like in a truck, like an
Uh-huh.
old truck.
Yeah.
And just hotboxing himself with weed
Uh-huh.
and doing this role on a camera on a cell
Uh-huh.
phone or something like that. It was the weirdest thing.
And everybody was like, what's going on?
It was Brad Pitt was like, bro, are you okay?
Yeah.
He was good in Fury, not Fury Road. What was that? Just Fury, right? The tank movie?
Yeah, Fury.
That tank movie.
That's a fun movie.
Good movie. Holy shit.
Yeah,
What
Brad
about,
Pitt, right?
Indiana Jones 4.
terrible.
No.
We don't talk about
No,
that.
that movie doesn't exist.
Doesn't
man.
exist.
I don't
What are you
know
talking
you're
about?
What's he talking about?
I don't know.
Aren't there 5 Indiana Jones?
Shut up.
No, there's
Just
3.
stop.
There's 3 and barely 3. There's really only 2.
There's only I don't know.
I'm gonna leave it at that. It's my toxic trait is that there's only 2 Indiana Jones movies.
So part of Jeff Bridges returning, didn't he talk about the anti-aging technology, how it's come so far since the sequel,
Mhm.
and they're going to be using it on him?
I'm sure they are. I mean, it wasn't good in the sequel, but it was before its time because it was like
Yeah.
it was years before. Star
Yeah,
Wars.
I actually watched that movie a couple months ago, and
Yeah.
I thought the anti-aging stuff on him looked really weird.
It-
Looked really fake.
It was brand new,
But
at the time.
I'm curious how they change it now. I mean, we've all seen it. We saw it
Yeah.
in the movie, the 5th movie that shall not be named. I mean, they made Harrison Ford look
janky.
young. You know, it's weird how
Yeah.
they do it, but
The only one
I'm
who-
looking forward to Jeff Bridges being in this. I think, you know, it wouldn't really be a Tron movie without him, right?
I don't think so.
The only one I think has done de-aging right was Samuel L. Jackson. Like they made him look really young
In what?
in Captain Marvel and
Oh, that's
Stuff
right.
like that.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that now.
he was on screen a lot in that movie.
It was expensive. Wasn't that movie
Yeah.
super expensive because of that? Like they
Yeah.
had to spend millions of dollars just doing de-aging stuff. We got $2 super chat from William Forbus. Says there are 3 Indiana Jones movies. Ends with Last Crusade. Thank you, sir.
Yep, agreed.
Completely agree. Right off into the sunset. Everything else after that is just a cash grab.
I feel like in an alternate universe, we reviewed a movie that had to do with Indiana Jones.
Let it go.
Well,
man.
we don't discuss it.
No, that was that was like a timeline.
I mean,
slip or something
we've
like
never
that.
reviewed
No,
anything
no.
like
I think that was
Salty Nerd Podcast has never reviewed that movie.
I think it was the Pepper Nerd Salt Fest or
the
something.
Sweet Nerds or something like that.
Yeah, something.
Some dork
Wasn't us.
had a fake mustache and
Mhm.
a pair of
the
glasses on.
polite nerds.
Yeah,
The alternate universe.
definitely
nerds.
wasn't us. There are 2 Indiana Jones movies. Lord Thaw says, yeah. Okay, all right.
So
What else we got?
are they not counting Temple of Doom?
Yes, that's the one that we're counting not as an official movie.
No,
'cause
if we
it's
had,
technically a prequel.
you have to get rid of one of the first 3. I'm getting rid of Last Crusade.
What?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I
How
understand.
dare you? That's got James Bond in it.
I
sir.
know, but there's something about Temple of Doom that I just
It's
I've always
it's
liked it. It's silly.
it's goonified.
Yeah.
It's during that weird like
has short round in it. You don't like short round.
Well, I like short round. I don't like the goonification of Indiana Jones because they just went too far with it.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't take much to change my mind, but I've always just been partial to that one. The first one's the best.
Watch it with me and you'll hate it.
Great. Remind myself never to do that.
I will ruin that movie for
You're
you.
really selling it. You know what you should do? You should watch something with me so that you hate it.
Yeah, so you can join the dark side and hate this movie. Yeah. No, I take a lot of flack for not liking Temple of Doom, but it's the Goon. If you like the Goonies, you like Temple of Doom. That's just the bottom line because there's so many similarities between those two things, and I don't like the Goonies because of those things. Therefore, I don't like Temple of Doom.
I like Temple of Doom
I'm glad.
and Goonies.
Yeah, see,
I mean, it's not like I'm saying I don't like Last Crusade. I just if I'm forced to get rid of one of them, I'll probably get rid of that one first. So.
That one holds a special place with me.
I feel like the third one is a better follow-up to the first one than Temple of Doom was. Yeah. And also, as Alex said, there's a big debate as to Temple of Doom being a prequel.
Right.
It is a prequel. It even says it takes place before Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Where does it say that?
At the very beginning. It says this. It tells you the date is like Tokyo 1934 or something like that. And Raiders of the Lost Ark took place in 1936.
Yeah, it's a few years later.
So
Short Round is in both movies.
Short Round's in Raiders?
Oh, I meant Temple of Doom.
And Goonies.
And
Yeah.
But
Jones.
Jude also likes Gremlins.
I love Gremlins. That's my favorite Christmas movie.
Jude, can you sell me on Harry Potter? Because I know I'm about to dive into this universe with you guys for the podcast, and I am not ready.
It is a very whimsical world. That is what I have fallen in love with. This world where magic exists. So for me, it doesn't really matter what movie we're in. I love being back in the world where magic exists. Like I'm listening to fan fiction right now, and it just feels good to be in this world where magic exists.
Okay.
So the first movie it just sets up this world, and it sets up these key friendships, and the franchise grows up with this character that you will meet as an 11-year-old. By the time it ends, he is a grown man.
Right. Sure.
So it starts off with this boy who was in a tragic accident and is orphaned, and he has to go live with these really shitty relatives who are terrible to him and abuse him and tell him lies about who his family was. And then all of a sudden magic happens, and it turns out all of that shit wasn't real. And he has this whole other life. And he starts on this journey to find out who he really is, where he has really come from, who his parents really were, and what happened to them.
So Luke Skywalker in the first Star Wars movie.
Are we really going to go down this road again?
Hero's journey.
Yeah. No, I'm just joking with you. I mean, it is true, but I'm not trying to dog the movie.
Much like when we watched Buffy, and I said the first season is not my favorite. When I do my rewatches, I usually skip the first season because it was kind of finding its feet.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about the Harry Potter movies. The first one is not my favorite. When I rewatch the movies, I usually skip the first movie because it's
just a setup.
It's very much made for children.
Okay.
Everyone in it was a child. Even the director was like, I had a movie full of children. I just let them be kids, and I filmed it and I edited it because it's too hard to herd children.
Sure.
And he wanted to capture what it was like to be a child and discover magic. And he was great. Yeah. He was successful in doing that. The first movie is not for adults.
I think
the journey through the movies is so riveting.
Okay. One of the cool things about these movies is these kids were cast at the appropriate age. So as they made each movie, they grew into the role for each movie. Mm-hmm. It's basically 6th grade or whatever through high school, through graduation, and they're the appropriate age as they go. So you see them grow appropriately through.
Yeah, and there is a dark story at the heart of this, and each movie gets progressively.
It gets
darker.
really dark through as it progresses. The last movie, Deathly Hallows, I can't hardly watch because it's so fucking depressing.
Whoa.
It's really dark. It's crazy.
Never heard that before. Yeah. I don't hang out with Potterheads.
Yeah, you do. Every week, baby.
Yeah. I don't know much about these movies. I've just
it's really bleak.
Never been interested in them.
Before it gets.
I was the wrong age when they came out. I've never read the books. I just was like,
I got to experience these movies through my daughter.
Okay.
And she was the exact right age. He's like, you know, I had Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
She has these.
Okay.
And it's the same thing, whether she admits it or not. It's the same.
I will say, Alex, that I started reading these books when I was in college. I'd never heard of them before they announced the movie coming out, and the books are really good.
Mhm.
Like, props to J.K. Rowling. Like, she wrote some really good like fiction. But I want to ask you guys. So, like, you know, we had that scare earlier in the podcast about the Lord of the Rings movie. It's official that they are remaking the Harry Potter stories as a original series for Max. How do you guys feel about that?
I feel very trepidatious about it, but so here's my kind of thoughts about remaking something that is already like beloved. I feel like if you remake a movie and do beat for beat the same movie, it's a failure. But if you decide to take a story and give it put it in a different genre, it can work. And I think that if they're going to do a darker HBO version of this that's not quite so whimsical and made for children, I think it could work. I want it to work. I hope it works.
I was gonna say, could they make a rated R version of these?
Not with 11-year-olds, but if you put it in this world and you show the things that are happening behind these kids' backs, I think it could work.
Like kids can be in dark, messed up movies all the time.
Right.
Like we were just talking about Leon the Professional with what's her face?
But
Natalie
they don't
Portman.
make movies like that anymore. They age up whenever they can. Like Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah.
Claudia was supposed to be like 4 or 5 years old, and they turned her into a teenager because it's very hard to get away with doing that with a child in a movie or a TV series now.
Yeah.
Has anybody seen Abigail yet?
I cannot wait.
I want.
Well, it came out last
I know it came out last week. I think we're late on the party.
You guys want to go tonight?
No, I don't have time to go tonight, but I do want to see it.
I think I'm gonna have to wait till streaming because we've got other stuff that we have to watch.
Yeah, like Harry Potter.
Is Nadia still in the chat? Nadia, you want to go to the movies tonight?
I don't need to rewatch Harry Potter.
No,
I've rewatched it.
I've never seen them. I think I watched the first one because I was supposed to do a podcast with some people about
You're supposed to do it with Force of Light.
That's right. I did watch it. Okay, but I don't remember much about it, so it'll jog my memory when I watch it again. Are we doing a commentary or a review? Review. Commentary on Fifth Element. Review on Harry Potter.
Correct.
Okay. Gotcha.
So we're watching Fifth Element in here next week.
Yeah.
And our big release for the commentary for this month is Pacific Rim.
Pack Room.
Go to
saltynerdclub.com and join up. You can purchase them one by one, or you just sign up for the memberships and you get them at a certain tier. I'd have to check which one it was.
Top tier. Superstar.
Pack Room. All right. We're going to polish this up, and then we have another live stream for our members. If you are not a member, sign up. It's a lot of fun. We have a good time. We do special content just for those guys. So check it out over there. I don't know where. It's somewhere down below. You can sign up to become a member. I don't know how it works. But yeah, we're going to do a live stream just for that. And we have a topic in mind for that. We're going to be talking about the Marvel superhero fatigue. Russo brothers just had a comment recently, so we're going to be covering that subject, and we're probably going to get side railed with a bunch of other crazy stuff like we always do. But it's a lot of fun. So sign up, and thank you guys all so much for watching. Really appreciate it. This is a fun time for us. We love hanging out. We're glad you guys are in the chat. Thank you guys again. It's a lot of fun. I don't know what else to say. I'm kind of out of verbiage, so I'm just
out of words.
Goodbye.
Out of words.
Vader.
Okay. Yeah.
Say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, people. Have a nice day. We'll see some of you here in a few minutes.
Cool. Jude.
Bye, people. And if you want to see Alex begin this journey down the very magical world of Harry Potter, we'll be doing that for Patreon next week.
He's gonna hate it.
SaltyNerdClub.com.
They don't call me the salty nerd for nothing. Okay, just say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, people. Hopefully you'll be automatically redirected to our members live stream after this is over. If not, just go to our YouTube channel. It should be in the up next section if you're a member. If you're not, you probably won't see it. But we're going to be taking membership questions, a little Q&A, and it's open to everyone who's a member. We do 2 of these member live streams every month. The first one's open to everyone. And the second one is open to only extra salty and above, which is
we going right in?
Here.
Going right in.
Going right in. Okay.
Going in. Thank you guys so much. See you next week. Stay salty. Hey, folks, thanks so much for watching this live stream. If you want to watch our previous live stream, make sure to click right here Or if you would like to check out one of our favorite highlights, click right here.